Eagles, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be a, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome to Karen Rolton Oval. Welcome to all of our viewers this afternoon. It was a foggy morning down here in Adelaide, but the fog has cleared and it can't really look too much clearer now, to be completely honest. We've got a game in front of us between the 9th placed St. Peter's Old Collegians team and the 10th placed Old Ignatians Football Club. I'm Indiana Rogers and I'm joined today by Nathan Woods for the first time this year. It's good to work together with you, Nathan.
Yeah, thanks, Indy. Looking forward to today. As you said, beautiful conditions here, and Old Iggies have got a past players' day here, so a good crowd looming, and can't wait for what's going to be a good game between these two teams.
Yes, we welcome all of our viewers to the Adelaide Footy League live stream today, and we thank our sponsors, of course, including Sportal, Make Sure and Ratify, as well as of Dartfish and Filming Footy for making this coverage possible. We look forward to bringing you a full game's worth of commentating. Remember that Adelaide Footy League is one of the few community footy leagues around the country right now that live streams all of their Division 1 games every week, and we're very privileged to be bringing you this coverage. It's an intense weekend of footy, and both of these teams, we're seeing a bit of a preview of Division 2, aren't we, Nathan? Because obviously they're not fighting for finals, but they'll be fighting to really strike some fear into some of the Div 2 teams that won't be getting the promotion next year and what they'll have to come up against.
Yeah, no doubt, Indy. Still a lot on the line for these two. There's a bit of controversy earlier on in the season when they played each other, when an unregistered player was played for St. Peter's, and the score went to 0, so Iggy's got the points there. But definitely a lot to play for. Saints have had a couple of wins this year. It was a good upset beating Brighton a few weeks ago, and they'd like to definitely come and spoil the party for Iggy's today.
Yeah, that was a huge upset a couple of weeks ago. Well, I watched Old Iggy's last week. I was commentated with Tony Neal as they went all the way down to Sacred Heart to play them, and it was glass half full and empty. They scored their lowest score of the year, but they conceded their lowest score of the year, 65, and obviously Old Iggies have improved a bit defensively in that regard, hoping today that they really put on a competition, because this could be one of their few opportunities, if not their only opportunity, to register an additional win this year. And tell you what, I reckon the fans deserve it, because I'm at Rolton Oval for the first time this year, Nathan, and well, it's exceeded my expectations for how superb the conditions of the Oval is. Not a mud patch in sight on the turf, and the weather obviously helps to make it look more glossy, but even if it was a torrential weather storm, I'd still be really confident in this turf. Give a pat on the back to the groundskeepers. They've done a superb job, and this grandstand as well, really nice. It's great to have these conditions out for such a superb venue, and we're going to miss this in Div 1 next year.
Yeah, it's great setup here. Feel very privileged to be sitting up here and calling today's game. Did hear they covered the square during the week, so it's come up a treat, and conditions are absolutely perfect. Great feel in the air tonight. Showdown on tonight later on as well, and today a game that's going to be two teams really wanting to get a win today, and I think we're going to see a pretty close game and a lot of young talent on show, because both these sides are in a rebuild sort of phase, and a lot of young kids out there trying to find their feet in Division 1 footy.
Yeah, it's a very interesting type of day that we have on our hands, and Daryl Spencer will be hoping to get his second win of the year, of course. In more literal terms, it could be considered their first win, as their first and only win so far happened in supernatural circumstances, as we're also seeing out the final few minutes of this Division 1 reserves game. The current score is 6 goals 5-41, 8 goals 10-58. It's a 17-point lead to St. Peter's secondary reserves team. So I reckon today in particular, both of these teams, it's been a tough year, but I think what they need to focus on is the 3 hours in front of them, because ultimately that's what matters. And of course, as we always do on these streams, the best on ground will be rewarded with a pair of Archie thongs, as well as the traditional Dartfish beanie, a very prized possession in the Adelaide Footy League and across the nation as well in community football leagues. So we look forward to presenting that to the best player. And well, talking about standouts from each team, we'll let you keep an eye on St. Peter's, Nathan. But I thought James Kennedy last week, we actually gave him a pair of thongs and a beanie despite playing in a losing performance, because he was just such a large standout, was the co-vice captain for Old Iggies, and he was really impressive defensively, brought them in structure, and that was part of the reason why they conceded their lowest score for the year. So any standouts from St. Peter's, you reckon?
I've heard, I was just speaking to the President Guy Roberts before down there, and he said that to keep an eye out on Henry Stewart Rattray, tall lad, number 14, a good mover. In the midfield, he said they've got a few big ball winners inside, Belperio, De Cesare. They're going to be important players, I think. Hamish Allen's another one that gets plenty of the ball, and he is another one to keep an eye out defence. And Allen brother one's injured at the moment, but Allen was certainly two other important players and good winners, St. Peter's. So keep an eye out for them, and I'm sure we'll be calling their names throughout the day.
Yeah, we're still just let's go. No time on in the Division 1 reserves, and the current score stands 6-5-1, Eagles 10-8. It looks like it will be final score, although there's a contest being reported here. Actually, 5 penalties going St. Peter's way. So it was only a 3-point game at time. This one very competitive. I think Kane and the Premiership ordered the St. Peter's reserves team and delivered the goods when they needed to. It's allowed them to come out with the ultimate result in the B grade, but the A grade as well is what we'll be commentating, of course, for you throughout the afternoon, and we look forward to bringing you coverage on that. So just also talking about the conditions in front of us. Again, I talked about at the beginning of the stream, very foggy morning, but it's all cleared up now. Tiny bit of overcast in the sky, but the sun is out and really enjoying it right now, completely bathing Karen Rolton Oval, Nathan.
Yes, well, I slept this morning, so I didn't see the fog, but I did hear it was a bit foggy. I was watching the cricket late till late last night, and but no, it's great conditions here. And at the Oval, there's not a mud patch in sight. There's a siren. We hear the siren in the background go, and that is the final score that we just mentioned before. He did 17 points in favour of St. Peter's Old Collegians here. So he said the weather and Oval's in great. I've done a couple of games recently at Brighton and Goodwood, and their Ovals there have copped a lot of weather, and it's very muddy in certain areas. But today, I'm sure both teams are very excited to get out here on this beautiful day.
We're looking forward to bringing you as much coverage as we can this afternoon, because there's also a lot of football going on across the league at the moment that really intrigues us. Goodwood have travelled to Webb Oval today to keep their season live, and well, look at some of the results. I reckon there's a bit of a battle at the top end of the ladder. Prince Alfred and Sacred Heart against each other. That was a low-scoring game earlier in the year. It could be different with improved conditions today, but that's a battle for the ladder as well, so that'll be really intriguing, and we're excited for that one. And Brighton Bombers will also be facing off against, I believe, the District Football Club, so that'll be another incredibly interesting result and a must-win for the Brighton Bombers if you want to stay in contention for that final fifth spot. We talked about it on Between the Posts with Tony Neal himself a couple of weeks ago, Nathan. There's a lot of teams from 5th to 8th right now that could still grab that final spot, and it's a very tight race for it.
Yeah, exactly. You've got Tea Tree Gully, Brighton, Broadview and Goodwood all within 3 points of each other. I watched Brighton beat Goodwood a couple of weeks ago, and that was a really important win for Brighton after they lost to St. Peter's the week before. Goodwood Saint, you can never write them. They've been a powerhouse in competition for a long time, and they still believe they can sneak into the 5th spot. So yeah, real tight there, that 5th to 8th spot. So some important games going on today, and look forward to seeing what eventuates at the end of the day.
Well, we've just seen the teams come out, or at least one of the teams, the A-grade St. Peter's team, and they look pretty confident up and running with a lot of applause going to the B-grade team that's just come off of their 70-point win. Of course, wins have been rare teams this season, which is why a day like this in the calendar means so much more. A tough year can sometimes be worth the really strong 3 hours that you put together to highlight it, and this is one of those games. Old Iggy's team also stepping out now. Good to see the B-grade team welcoming them onto the ground as well. And once again, we talk about the conditions of this turf. We suffered a lot throughout the year from really mud cricket pitches. That's always a really difficult part of the ground to get right, and even some of the best grounds in the Adelaide Footy League have had to be victim of a really bad cricket pitch. But we just look at the centre square here. It's absolutely perfect. This is also a part-time cricket ground, probably worth mentioning for those who are interested in watching cricket this off-season. And nothing to keep in mind, this Old Iggy's team, yes, they'll be going to Div 2, but it was only 2 years ago that they were Div 2 premiers, Div 2 reserves premiers, and Div 2 women's premiers. So a lot of accolades for a single year, and they still be riding the confidence of that going back into Division 2. So you wouldn't think that they'd be down there too long. And, well, only one of the Ferrari brothers playing today as well. Just Will Ferrari is the one today, featuring his brother at the moment. They had to scramble for reinforcements a few weeks ago when Tim Hillian commented a game at Largs Bay. They played against Old Iggy's, and wow, that was a huge challenge, a really big obstacle, because they had to make about 5 late changes within 3/4 time at the B-grade game, and some of the changes were actually B-grade players who had to play back-to-back games in a row, so nearly 6 hours worth of football, Nathan. Pretty crazy stuff.
It's certainly to take it out of you, so yeah, as I say, Old Iggy's a young side, rebuilding. They've lost a lot of experience. Brinoli, Rook, there was a handful that the Prince, I think. So yeah, they've a lot of players last year, and it's just when they run out, then they're a very young side. And but still, it'll do a lot of these young guys great to play in this division this year, or play A grade, and I'm sure they'll be better for it, and they'll go back next year, strengthen some numbers up, and I'm sure they will be back in it, because as you said, the Old Iggy's football club's been very successful, both the men and women's sides, and I'm sure that we'll see them back competitive. Last year they beat Port Districts, I think, by 1 point in the last game to stay in Division 1, which was a great win. So there's certainly some talent there, some young guys on display today, and looking forward to seeing them go about their work.
Yeah, and on the flip side, of course, we look at St. Peter's. Well, they've made a lot of consecutive final series, actually, over the last decade in Division 1, and they've proven that capacity before to be a damaging finals team. They actually finished above one of the grand finalists on the ladder after regulation last year. They were 4th, played the 5th place Prince Alfred in their elimination final, and eventually ended up losing that. But you know, there's nothing to suggest why this team couldn't also build a new core of experience in Division 2 and really strike back up in Div 1, because again, they're one of the better old collegians teams that go around throughout these leagues, and you'd expect to see them relatively soon. Also, for those curious today, they're both labelled old collegians teams or old scholars teams, but nicknames, Old Iggy's are the Lions and St. Peter's are indeed the Saints. So can refer to those nicknames, which I'm sure we'll be doing plenty on this commentary team throughout the match, and I'm excited to see who the best on ground will be, the one who really takes this match by grasp. Remember that the best on ground gets 3 votes contributed towards the Roll the Dice Media Player of the Year award, an award voted by the commentators in all of the live stream games. They do a 3-2-1 voting system. Now, we do not reveal votes 2 and 1 on the actual stream, but we will reveal our best on ground at the end of the game. We'll get a photo with them with the Archie Thongs and Dartfish beanie after the game has been completed. You can see travelling, bustling in the background. It'll probably get heavier as time gets closer to the showdown this afternoon, because Adelaide Oval's not too far from here, actually. And again, being around the city, you can see a really nice view of the city in the background. Players continuing to warm up here. We look forward to bringing you as much coverage as possible throughout this afternoon. Again, it's at Karen Rolton Oval. You're with Indiana Rogers and Nathan Woods on the Adelaide Footy League live stream. We thank our sponsors for making this possible, including Filming Footy, Dartfish, Make Sure and Ratify, as well as Sportal, our official scoreboard sponsor. Remember, they're really working on a next generation of scoring for all sports across the world. You can track them anytime, any place with the Sportal app, giving you a live update on the scoreboards, which is a new interface of technology that they're really proud of, and we're proud to be advertising it to you as well. So what's your overall prediction for today, Nathan? Which way are you going to go?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I should say, as I said before, Old Iggy's have a big day here today with their past players' day, so the players will be really looking forward to putting on a good show today. And St. Peter's, a young side, rebuilding, and so I think St. Peter's, not by much, but I think it'll be a pretty close game. But I'm taking St. Peter's as my tip for today, but maybe by a few goals, 2 to 3 goals, I'd say. What about yourself, Indy? Who do you think's going to win today?
Yeah, I think I've got to go Old Iggy's for, I guess you could call it an upset, although I'd say today the odds are probably more 50-50. Again, a rare opportunity for a win for both these teams as they start to get into their huddles now. We haven't quite seen what the coin toss result was. I haven't seen either of the team captains come into the centre to get that coin toss out of the way, but they're huddling in now, so I'm sure they'll come out at some point.
We may have even missed it.
Oh, we might have missed it. I didn't see either of the players enter the centre circle, so it might have been done a little bit earlier on. But what we will be able to tell you is which end by who's making their way down to each respective end, because of course we know Ferrari likes to play off of a half-back flank, and James Kennedy's also a huge defender to look out for, so that'll probably determine the overall success.
I was thinking Old Iggy's are kicking to the right of screen because I've seen one of the St. Peter's back pocket players, the captain James Duncan, just grabbed the water bottle. So
I reckon you might be right there.
Iggy's maybe kicking to the right of screen.
It looks to be the case. They're getting some tool stocks down there, and that's been one of the few struggles for Old Iggy's this year in the recipe for success, and ultimately the missing ingredient, hence why they haven't won as much as they'd like, is getting that new, fresh key forward into the team. William McCarthy is the one going down there, and he's going to be a big determining factor in whether or not they can clunch something out of the stoppages. But we're bringing you now the live stream of Old Iggy's Lions versus St. Peter's Saints. An opportunity for a win here, and a rare one with that. Getting involved in the middle early, Max Kelly lost the ball in translation. Duncan, the skipper, clearing it out. Awkward clearance, ricochets off of a couple shins, and then stumbles towards the turf. Not going to be a ball up yet. Old Iggy's will resume the ball's traversal. In fact, they'll clear it out here. They look to the broadcasting side wing. Down towards half forward, although tumbling closer towards the wing itself. Players trying to thump that ball to the boundary line, but they kept it alive. Thomas Ryan did a superb job there. Oh, big smother. What about that? That was a huge smother from Harry Cudmore. Kept the ball back alive and got reinforcements involved to tackle in. But it will probably be a ball up here. Some really nice efforts from both teams in that first play.
Yeah, you can see both teams started with a lot of intensity here. There's a ball throw-ups around 60 metres out. Ball comes out here to number 29, Kennedy, the vice-captain, kicks it in long, and the ball's rushed over by the St. Peter's player there for the first score of the game. So they're going to move it out quickly, Saints. Ball comes out to Duncan, the skipper, hands it over on the left foot, down the wing, contest there. Charlie Allen flies, ball picked up by Higgins there it was, I think. So the Saints player now, the captain, Duncan, gets the ball on, but it's all St. Iggy's back here, set the wall up nicely, and the vice-captain, Bradley Jones, picks the ball up here. So Jones looking for options. He's going to go long down the line. It's about 50 metres. It's going to fall over the back there. Picked up here. Tackled by the Saints player, though there was the Iggy's player. He gets the ball out here. He's trying to pick that up there. It's Ferrari on the right foot, but it's just snuck it in for a behind. So Iggy's doing a bit of attacking here. They go to 2 points after 2 minutes to St. Peter's 0.
A couple of opportunities gone wayward. They don't want to overplay with the ball in the forward 50, Old Iggy's. Sometimes it's better to play the kiss rule and keep it simple, although maybe they're trying to subvert the expectations of opposition. So it could be integral at some point. Wasn't in that instance. Long kick in by St. Peter's. There's an early whistle for holding infringement by the looks. It will be coming back into the hands of Ian McCarthy. So he looks forward. He actually wants the corridor, but he decides to persist with his respective wing. No one getting hands to that one except for the Old Iggy's defence, but the mark wasn't completed. Austin Murdoch just couldn't quite get the other mitts out for that one, so he'll be making his way back down into the defence. So maybe they're trying to push James Kennedy up the ground a bit because they realise how damaging he was out of defence last week, and he was their best player by a decent stretch. Maybe pushing him up the ground will change something. Could that be a magnet switch to change the pace of the game? St. Peter's have found a way to tumble the ball into their forward line, but through constant and continuous tackling, it gets cleared out the other way. 1-on-1 on the wing, and the one-handed mark complete by Patrick Fay. Juggled his opponent really well. Goes long with the drop punt. It's 2-on-2 down there. Thumped out by the St. Peter's defender. Spoiled well. Player taken over the line, but not with the ball, so they're going to have to go back in and earn it. Great tackling pressure there, and not much of a opportunity for Nick Wilesden to get out of that one, so really superbly done. Although it looks like a free kick's going to be rewarded. Ooh, not sure what that was for.
Didn't pick that up, Indy, but... So Saints have got the free kick. They kick the ball back in. Pack flies. Iggy's get the ball. Ferrari, quick handball. 45 out. Hurried kick forward. Saints player there in front, though. He's going to clear for St. Peter's, so it's Johnny Reid who clears the ball out wide. Good kick, drops the mark there though. Cudmore, handballs over there to McCarthy. McCarthy goes forward, and a great mark coming in front there from the Iggy's player. Timed the jump well, and he will have a clearing kick from the defensive 50, but he's turned it straight over back to St. Peter's, and Ben McGill's taken the mark. So a bit scrappy here. He's going to move it in forward. Centres the ball. Now a bit of pace shown here. I think this is Johnny Reid. And he's going to kick it back to Iggy. So a bit scrappy here. Iggy's now. They're going to try and clear it. Comes out to the wing near us here. Goes for the bump there, the Saints player. Probably should have tackled there, Cudmore. The ball's gone out of bounds. Right in front of us here on the wing. So there'll be a throw in. 5 minutes gone here. Low scoring so far. Iggy's 2 points. Saints yet to score. So boundary throw in. 2 ruckmen go at it. Ball comes down to Ferrari. Good clean take. Handballs over into the middle. Steaming through there onto the Saints players. It's tough and hard in there. Higgins gets a hurried kick off the left boot. Great front and centre by Cesare. He has a shot on goal. It looks good as well. Excellent play by St. Peter's. Hurried kick came in, and De Cesare, perfect front and centre. Clean take from 45 metres out, kicks St. Peter's goal. So they're on the board with their first hurried kick off the left boot. Great front and centre by De Cesare. He has a shot on goal. It looks good as well. Excellent play.
Goal from, that was Lockie De Cesare, was it? Well, it was a low probability shot, but I reckon neither of these teams have been known for the cleanest forward entries, so maybe taking those lower probability shots might be the secret for today. So both teams can take notes from that. We're back in the middle now, trying to follow through with the ball, but being held onto was Charlie Allen, so he'll get it back. Kicks it long down the far side wing, the city side wing. St. Peter's go forward. Long ball. Was there a shove out there? No. Not according to the umpire anyway. Old Iggy's tackled. Almost could have been holding the ball there. So now St. Peter's going for another low probability shot and getting it. We're going to quickly inspect on who that was, but James Higgins, Nathan Woods is pretty confident.
Might have to wait for the replay. It looked like Higgins just threw it on the boat. We'll have another look here. Here it is, number 6, yeah. James Higgins. Check side. Good handball. Some good movement there from St. Peter's. Got the ball out of the middle. A nice kick to the half-forward line. And James Higgins has just thrown that on the boot, and fortuitously he's gone through. So Saints get 2 quick goals here after Old Iggy's did all the attacking in the first few minutes. So ball back in the centre. 2 ruckmen go at it. Higgins is there again. He's back in the middle. Ball comes out here to Kelly. Kelly with a quick handball out to Ferrari. Ferrari with another quick handball out to Laydon. Laydon gets it in forward, but the ball's going to go over the forward there, taking the mark. St. Peter's back in defence. So they switch the ball out to Fay. Paddy Fay. Nice little measured kick. Finds Benny Belpario. He's looking for options here on the defensive 50. Big group of players, so a risky kick, but a very nice kick inboard. Finds Marcus Roberts. So Roberts now swings to the outer side. Out on the lead there is Nick Michaels. Ball's going to beat them out of bounds over there. Harry Cudmore was pursuing that, and there'll be a throw-in on the outer side.
City side wing. Umpire to throw the ball back into play. Sun shining bright here at Karen Rolton for the moment. Old Iggy's the ones to clear, although it's rushed off the boot. It was a high ball, but went the required journey to register as an intercept for Patrick Fay. He stood up well early. He's had a couple of intercept marks now. Allen through the middle. St. Peter's will keep going. It's one-on-one down in the forward line. The kick poised perfectly onto the lead of Henry Stewart Rattray. He wants to go one deeper, and he does, into the hands of Brett Russell. So chance for a third consecutive goal here for the Saints. Traffic bustling in the background, but he needs to focus on the goals themselves.
Moving the ball well, St. Peter's. Started really well with some good, precise kicking there. Moved it from one end to the other, hitting targets.
Well, what a difference it makes. Forward entries, night and day the difference is really just so clean for St. Peter's early in this match, but first time this game, scoring opportunity has gone wayward, so ball's going to be coming back now to the possession of Austin Murdoch, that looks like, at the other end of the ground. Either way, Old Iggy's getting possession back from the back pocket. Big kick, and the mark completed eventually. Nicely done there by Brendan Lord. It took him a couple bites of the cherry, but eventually he got it. He wants to go with a low dart across the wing. He manages to get a player goal side. They're going to put together some handball chains here. They're going to go forward. It's one-on-one, and prevailing in the one-on-one this time, Old Iggy's have hit a target. Nice play there. I believe that looks like Quinn Spencer.
Yeah,
in fact, it is. Yep.
Yeah, that's Quinn Spencer. Yeah, good use of the body there. He's got the little nudge on there and took a good mark.
So this will be an important response, and it's good to cap off a coast-to-coast play with a goal. St. Peter's didn't do so at one end, but Old Iggy's can do it at another. First set shot opportunity for the game. And they've missed to the near side, so 3 scoring opportunities to 2, but the actual margin itself is 9 points.
Yeah, they haven't taken their opportunities so far, Iggy's. See the disappointment on that shot, 35 out. Would have been a good reply for Old Iggy's there, but after the let-off from Russell. So it's going to be Johnny Reid to bring it back in for Spock. It's the Saints. Looking for options here, sun in his eyes. Well, he's hooked the kick a bit, but it's fortuitously landed in the arms of Benny Belpario. So Belpario, Iggy's have set up defensively well here, so he's just going to go short. 10-metre little kick to Carter. Carter out wide now. They're just going back and forth here, not making any ground. Ty Bedford's got it now. He's decided to put the Jets on and have a run. Gives a little handball over now. This is good play from Duncan running from defence. Hits the target, but a drop mark there. Back out to Duncan. He's pursued by a few Iggy's players. He gets a kick out. Ball spills over there to Marcus Roberts. He swings it back there to Harry Cudmore, who has a nice little kicking board. They've done a few of those today, Saints, so far. Just trying to go through the back inside through the corridor. So out wide, the ball goes to Lockie de Cesare, who we saw kick that good goal earlier. He swings out wide on the right foot. Ferrari's out there working hard. Saints get the handball out. Left foot, hurried kick. I think actually that may be Ferrari, is it? Can't quite tell, but he comes in board now. Kicks out number 3, Connor Bristow. So Bristow goes out wide for Iggy's. They're about near the defensive 50. Back in board here now. Bristow plays on the left foot. Short little kick. Good run here from Iggy's. A lot of left footers here. Another left footer and well placed kick out in front. And Quinn Spencer takes the mark. He moves it on quickly. And the mark's been taken inside 50 by the Iggy's player there. About 40, 45 metres out. So some good ball movement. Both teams willing to play on and take it on a bit here. And it looks like Max Kelly's got the ball here. So he was talking to his father earlier on today, Richard Kelly. Former Glenelgan Norwood player, Berger Kelly. Also been involved with Glenunga. So Max Kelly here, important shot for Iggy's. Had some opportunities here. They'd love to get a major on the board. So in comes Kelly. Gets underneath it a little bit. Not quite going to make it. Oh, but a great mark's taken on the goal line by the old Ignatians player. I think that's taken in the square as well. Carl Hodges it is. Oh no, he's going to send him on the angle though. Still, you see in the AFL, these guys snap the ball. Got it down to a fine art. So let's see if Hodges can swing around, whether he'll go the right check side or swing around onto his left boot. So he's right on the boundary line now, near the picket fence, in front of the scoreboard. So it looks like he's going to go a right foot check side. That's exactly what he does. Looks pretty good as well off the boot. He's nailed that. So a really important goal for old Ignatians there. Had a bit of play, some good ball movement, and a great contested mark in the square from Hodges. So Iggy's get their first goal. They go to 1-3. They trail St. Peter's 2 goals straight, 14 minutes into this first quarter.
Really well timed goal, puts them back within 3 points. We've only just hit over the 14-minute mark of this quarter, but that's the exact type of play that they needed to put together. And it shows dedication when you could get your tall men all the way back to the goal square to take a mark like that, because that type of play wouldn't have happened too many occasions this year for Old Ickies. Again, they haven't had the ferocious tall forwards, they haven't had the Davies or the Kailottos, they just haven't had those types of players, but right in front of us now, the next centre bounce. Can we see a super tall forward stand up for Old Ickies today? That's what they'd be hoping for. Scramble in the centre circle. It's going to lead to another ball up. Yes, it will. A lot of intrigue over this contest now. It's a 3-point game. A light breeze has picked up, just slightly favouring the northern end, but wouldn't be too much of an advantage for either team. Delayed to the clearance there. Kicked out the other way by Jasper Davies. Ricochet off of one St. Peter's player, but fell into the hands of another. Oki de Cesare. Did a good job. Out wide, they find Henry Stewart Rattray. He's a valuable asset up the ground. What can he do with this kick? That's a long one. It's an awkward spin as well. A little bit Torp-like. Comes to ground. They managed to scramble some hand passes out and taking the mark within play, and finishing off right on the line was Brett Russell. Ultimately, it was a bit easy in the end. Brett Russell just found himself all on his own and didn't even need to put 110 into that kick. Just look at that. Routine stuff.
Yeah, looks like his opponent was dragged into the contest there, and Brett Russell couldn't believe his luck. He's 20-30 metres by himself. The quick kick came forward from the spot player who spotted Russell in the goal square all alone, and he just had to waltz in on the left foot and kick a goal. So a bit easy there from Iggy's. They'll have to tighten up a little bit with that. So a quick answer back for St. Peter's to put the margin back out to 9 points. Just waiting on the ball to come back into the middle here. So here we go. 17 minutes gone in this first quarter. Entertaining game here. Up goes the 2 ruckmen. Here goes the centre clearance. The ball's Bedford gets it, kicks it towards the 50. A quick handball here. Johnny Vrodos, hurry, kick forward, picking it up and snapping on the left foot. A clever goal. Nick Michaels, I think it is. We'll just wait and see, but an opportunist goal. Yes, Nick Michaels in the right spot at the right time, and important centre clearance from St. Peter's there, and Nick Michaels, quick little snap on the left foot. Great little forward pocket goal, and Saints with 2 in a row now. They've got a little bit of a margin. They go out to 4 goals 24 to Old Iggy's 1 goal 3-9, and we've played nearly 18 minutes in this first quarter.
2 back-to-back goals now coming from centre clearances for St. Peter's. Old Iggy's have just got a little bit of extra arm strength around those stoppages now. You can see Thomas Ryan getting involved with this next centre bounce. Getting the tap out though was McCarthy. Ball to be set back up in the centre circle once again. Players wouldn't be afraid to get down to this turf. In fact, compared to some of the cricket pitches we've seen in the middle of certain grounds this year, this would be a huge let-off. Really nice relief and a bit of a break from a lot of the torrential wet weather football we normally come to expect in July. It's a good day here and a good ground to be playing on. Oh, big tackle, Charlie Allen. He's caught his man but hasn't penalised him. It'll be a ball up once again in the centre. Charlie Allen, he's quite a tall on baller, as you can see on screen there. Bedford, hand past it, but not to anyone in particular. Clearance attempt was smothered. That's a really good intensive effort there from Hamish Allen. It'll come back out the other way. St. Peter's the first to try and get onto it. It goes through the leg set of one player and then back out the St. Peter's direction. The Saints now through Roberts. A couple of handball chains later, Roberts with the 1-2, but the kick was a little undercooked. Thanks to the pressure from Old Iggy's, which is starting to crank up in intensity once again. Now they've got the corridor. Took a bit of time with the kick. Bristow goes forward and far too deep. Wanted to get his man out on a lead, but there was no real hope that Carl Hodges was going to catch onto the end of that one.
Yeah, some good movement through the middle there from Old Iggy's. Just had no one back there, and the long kick went out of bounds. So, last touch rules. Saints bring the ball back. Socket off the ground, out to the wing. Higgins leads out on the race there. He gives a handball over. Ball ends up now with McGill. The kick goes forward. Bedford all on his own. Has a bounce, approaches 45. Kicks the ball towards the face of the goal. Snap on goal again. Another opportunist goal there from St. Peter's. Is it Michaels again? It is. Nick Michaels. This time on his preferred right foot, I think, and snapped on goal. So Old Iggy's have a shot, and St. Peter's have just worked it from one end to the other. And Nick Michaels has kicked his second goal in about 4 or 5 minutes. And now a bit of breathing space from St. Peter's. They kick away by 21 points. 5 goals straight to 1-3, 20 minutes in. And Old Iggy's now really wanting to probably get this next goal, as Saints looking to threatening to get a bit of a lead on here.
20 and a half minutes gone. Decently high scoring quarter, so you'd expect a fair amount of time on to back that up. Old Iggy's really under the pump now. Game high 21-point margin. What can they muster up from this next stoppage? We talked about the clean forward entries at one end compared to the other, and right now the cleanest entries have definitely gone to the left of screen in this quarter. A little holding infringement there. Old Iggy's will get a break here. Come back through the hands of, that looks like the hands of Carl Hodges. So he looks forward. Decides to go with a short kick, a dangerous kick straight into the middle of the ground. One of the worst places to turn it over. Dumping it onto the boot to Cesare. Going forward, trying to chain together some hand passes again. Oh, almost getting slung out of it. Old Iggy's break for the moment. That looked like Ferrari clearing it out with a thumping torp. But it's gone the other way. St. Peter's have had the defensive setup. Brodos finds a man in the middle. The skipper in Duncan goes short. And once again goes short to James Higgins. Higgins with a thumping ball into the forward pocket. Oh, Bedford nearly completed the bar. Dodged around a couple. His goal attempt got smothered and he was taken to turf with the Sharon. It'll be a ball up in that forward pocket. Intensity cranking up once again, and St. Peter's almost really starting to put the additional pressure on. So, just getting some verification here from the Old Iggy's team manager, but in the meantime, play out there looks to be resuming as normal. All according to schedule. Old Iggy's rushed over boundary line with the ball in hand. So game's starting to just slow up a little bit now, and Old Iggy's might have to start reinforcing those defensive habits that they had against Sacred Heart last week. They did a really good job defending in the wet, only conceded 65 for the game, their lowest, but already it's looking intense in this quarter. A couple of bites at it, but no mark for Nick Michaels. Tried to keep it alive, it will go over the boundary line once again. Nick Michaels sniffing a third goal.
Yeah, he's looking dangerous up there, Michaels. Unlucky not to pull the mark in there. So important now, Iggy's, don't let another one slip through here. Got to tighten up a little bit in defence. 2 ruckmans, plenty of players there. Oh, has he grabbed high? No. Be another ball up there. Large group of players around the football here. So 23 minutes, probably another 5 minutes to go in this quarter. Ball spills out to De Cesare, who's been important in this first quarter. Kicked a good goal and had some good centre clearances. But there's a free kick being picked out here to old Ignatians. Ball goes out wide. Bit of a risky kick. There'll be a ball up now. So Saints are keeping it in, keeping the pressure on here, looking to kick their 6th goal. So throw up. 2 ruckmen go at it. Pack forms straight away, and there'll be another stoppage. So up goes the ruckman. So the ball spills out here now to Saints player. Handballs over to the captain, Duncan. He gets a kick, tackled just at the wrong time. Oh, high tackle there. I think Michaels is it again. Yes, Nick Michaels. Just went low on the knees a little bit there, and unfortunately the old Iggy's player, much taller, got Michaels around the neck, and he's having a shot for his 3rd goal in this first quarter. He's been an important player up forward, looking really dangerous. So he's about 30 metres out, pretty much straight in front, and this is for Saints' 6th straight goal. So in he comes. Looks pretty good off the boot. He's just snuck it in. So St. Peter's, they've got 6 here. They're looking at starting to blow this game open a little bit. 25 minutes played, 6 goals straight now. Michaels kicks his 3rd, and Iggy's under a bit of pressure here.
3 first quarter goals now for Nick Michaels. He's putting his hand up for the beanie very early. He's like a school kid that puts his hand up before the question's even been finished asked. So it'll be really exciting to see if he can keep that up. I mean, you could do the lazy math and say, well, if he has 3 more quarters like that, he kicks 12. And it doesn't normally happen in football, but as a small forward, he's looking really dangerous right now. So that St. Peter's haven't had too much this year, but they could get some output through him. In the meantime, taking a shot from long range and loading up, pulling the trigger. That looked like Henry Stewart Rattray, I reckon. It is. That was fantastic stuff. The huge launch from outside the arc.
Great goal by Stewart Rattray. We spoke about him earlier in the day as one of the players to watch. And tall fellow just launched that from around 50 metres out over the back, and number 7 now for St. Peter's. So some real warning signs. So the bells are ringing here for old Iggy's. They need the next goal. So ball back in the middle. One there by the ruckman in Hodges. He's up from forward line into the ruck now. Pack of players, quick handball out to the captain, Duncan. He's had a bit of it. Throws the ball out there. I think it's to Stewart Rattray again. Good defensive mark there. One-on-one contested mark by the old Iggy's player. Now he moves the ball into the middle. He's not allowed. No, he's got a 25-metre penalty here. Now he's playing on here. Ball comes out wide. Good kick. Plays on here. Gives the ball out to Kennedy, the vice-captain. He goes in long. Can Iggy's take a mark? Rush through there from the St. Peter's player in Benny Belpario. So he's working hard back there. So Iggy's chance there. Saints rush it through for a point, so they'll bring it back in here. Wouldn't be too much long left in this first quarter. Big pack forms over the back there. Oh, St. Iggy's player, the old Iggy's player there, shirt fronted a bit, and he looks a bit proppy there. But gets up and away we go. So Stewart Rattray in the ruck now. Quick handball by Higgins. Out to Allen. Allen hurries it forward. Picked up here on the wing by Darcy Emerson, but a bad kick. Turnover straight to Michaels. He's having a great quarter. So on the run here now Fay goes in forward, but well cut off there by the Iggy's player. And now they come back in board, but their skills have been let them down a little bit here. So they've turned it over back to St. Peter's. Allen in front there, working hard, handballs it out, wide to Fay. He's had a good quarter. And there's the siren to end the first quarter here. It's been all St. Peter's. Old Iggies have had some opportunities, but 1 goal for the cleaner side. St. Peter's have kicked 7 goals straight. They've been very dangerous when they've gone forward. Nick Michaels with 3 has been important in the play. Indy, what do you think?
Oh, I thought, well, on paper it's 5 scoring shots to 7. You can't be too picky, but I reckon those last 10 minutes were just all the Saints, really. Super large domination, and Nick Michaels with 3 goals, putting his hand up for the beanie early. Well, we'll give you the other 3 quarters as well after this break, but we're going to take a break. In the meantime, it's Old Iggy's 10 points and St. Peter's 42 points. 32-point game here at Karen Rolton Oval.
9 News teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back
This
to
gets
Karen
a
Rolton
hurried kick off the
Oval,
left
where
boot,
it's a
great
1
front
goal
centre
for 10,
by
7 goals.
Cesare. He has a shot on goal.
Game
It looks
St.
good
Peter's
as well.
favour. It was actually quite a close game for the first half, and after Kyle Hodges kicked that goal, it almost seemed like it could be a 50-50 afternoon, but everything after that was all Saints, just dominated the Lions really in most major departments. Nick Michaels in particular has 3 goals now. Stuart Rattray kicked one from outside the arc, and James Higgins also very damaging in that quarter. That was on top of James Duncan doing his usual leadership antics from half back and really helping with ball traversal throughout the quarter. So I think at this point it probably could be St. Peter's by how much, although it's only quarter time. What do you think Old Iggy's have to do to get back into this game? Is it scrambling reinforcements in the defence or just quicker ball movement?
Yeah, a bit of both. I think St. Peter's got on top in the middle as well there. Their ball use was a lot cleaner than Iggy's, and they just looked very dangerous when they went up forward. So their kicks inside forward 50 were very good, and they finished off their work real well. So Iggy's, they're not out of it. They had some chances, so they certainly will need to get the first couple of goals here. Otherwise, things could get ugly for them. So, but I think it's got to start in the middle. Ferrari, Kelly, these sort of guys got to get some forward entries, some clean ball movement, and some less turnovers as well. I think they've sort of, their skill level hasn't been quite as good as St. Peter's. So, but yeah, just really important that they can get the first couple of goals here and get some confidence.
So it will take a bit of early momentum, I suppose, in the second quarter to stop the rot. But St. Peter's looking all the goods. They'll be kicking towards the southern end in this particular term, and, well, in the meantime, Old Iggy's had to kick towards the hospital end, which, again, there isn't too much of a favourable breeze in the mix of it, but there is a light breeze just brushing over the ground. Kennedy getting involved on ball now. Someone's got to break the glass. He goes forward. Ball tumbles, bounces. Will probably beat the boundary line and beats everybody to the boundary line, in fact, but there is a free kick for a pushing infringement. St. Peter's will take it back from the hospital end pocket. They go far. Persists with the wide wing. Ooh, a couple players really went up for that spoil, and I reckon that's James Higgins who just took a little while to get back up. So it will be another stoppage, this time on the further outskirts of the wing. Current game still a 32-point.
Knee in the back, sorry, in that contest.
Yeah, sometimes it's a nasty thing to get involved with. You put your body on the line every time you go up for a stoppage, spoil or mark, because you've got to contest with so many different individuals, and a lot of weight can be enforced on you. Old Iggy's getting some tackling reinforcements, just making another ball up happen as traffic continues to bustle in the background. The weather is still consistently very nice for the moment, and hopefully to stay that way for the remainder of this afternoon, and probably for tonight for the sake of those supporters who will be attending the showdown between the Crows and Port Adelaide. In the meantime, another ball up. Far side of the ground. No major ruck winner there, but the stoppage winner definitely St. Peter's. So they want to move up the ground here. Nick Michaels is going to get a 25-metre penalty. I reckon that is Nick Michaels, although we'll take an extra look. It might not be. So hold pardon on my French for the moment, depending on who it is. James Higgins. So it's actually good to see him back up, particularly after his injury from a little bit earlier. James Higgins will load up, kick from either inside the centre square, but at least outside the arc. It was the latter, and I reckon distance sacrificed a bit of accuracy there. But the first score of the quarter goes to the St. Peter Saints.
Yeah, just strive for a bit of extra distance there and hook that one, Higgins. But as you said, Indy, good to see him back after that knee in the back. So here go Old Iggy's. To the outer side, getting in front there, and a good spoil by James Duncan, who's been solid today, the skipper. So throw in about 70 metres from the St. Peter's goal. So the two ruckmen go at it, McCarthy and Alfred. Ball spills down. Kennedy there, the Cesare on top of him. Ferrari also working hard, but he's wrapped up in a tackle by Vrodos. So another stoppage. Ball's thrown up. This time the Saints get the hit out. Picked up well there, but the ball goes over the top. Spills into the hands of Brett Russell, who's been busy up forward. This one on the left foot has a ping from about 40, just goes across the face of goal, or he's hooked it, and through for a minor score. So Saints get their second minor score. They go to 7-2, leading 1-4. We played 3 minutes. So Old Iggy's want to try and get the ball out of their defensive 50 here. Takes his full 15 metres. A wobbly kick. He shanked it. Ball spills to Duncan. His handball goes over the top. Ferrari misses it. Bedford's there. Now Allen gets slung, but the ball spills fortuitously into the hands of Rodos. The whistle's blown though, but I think it may be advantage because there was a sling tackle in the background.
It's a minor score, so we'll actually be given back.
Sorry, thanks, Indy. I didn't quite see. I was watching the player on the ground. I think it's the Cesare who gets up a bit gingerly. And the umpire came, not the actual officiating umpire at the time, from the centre there, picked out the kick. And De Cesare for the sling tackle will now have a shot at goal from about 45 metres out, pretty much straight in front. So St Peter's, after the early centre clearance, the Old Iggies in this quarter have started to get on top again. In comes De Cesare. Approaches 45. Still slice that one. Is it just going to sneak in though? Yes, it has. Snuck in for a goal. So De Cesare, that's his second. Got one in the first quarter. He's been very busy in the middle. Certainly been one of their better players, and St Peter's get that first goal, so they go out to 8-2 to Old Iggy's 1-4. We've played 5 minutes, 40-point margin. Some real warning bells coming here for Old Iggy's. As De Cesare gets a big round of applause as he comes off the ground. Coach Mick O'Leary gives him a little pat.
Yeah, credit to O'Leary as well. He's pretty happy with this current first half performance, and we're only 5 minutes into the second quarter, so still plenty of football to be played out, but they've already hit the 50-point mark, which they don't do very often this year, St Peter's, so they've ticked a lot of early boxes. How many more can they tick at a quarter of football? Old Iggy's, are they too far behind? Is this too much? We'll find out. James Kennedy out here on the wing, got a couple of work around, managed to get it out to a teammate in the Vanderjude. Goes far, but it's turned over. Not dead set in the middle of the ground, but in the back end of the centre square, also ranging around the half-forward mark for Old Iggy's, but coming right back out. Bedford, beautifully timed jump, knew how to read the ball. He gets it to a teammate in need. John Rodos launches all the way to the line. From the top shelf, if you don't mind, Rodos. One of 3 vice-captains out there today, and he's definitely imposing as a strong leader with a kick like that. Superb finish. There's 3 vice-captains for Old Iggy's. He's the single vice-captain, but also part of this leadership group for St Peter's, and that was a very commanding goal and pretty much puts the foot on the throat very early in this game. It's only 6 minutes into the second, but, well, Nathan, this looks like it's all the Saints at the moment.
Yeah, ominous signs here. Ball back in the middle. Ball spills out to Duncan now. Duncan gives the handball back. Comes out to Bedford, who we saw involved in that last play. He's caught one in the eye there. Umpire, I don't think the umpire's seen it. But yeah, it just looked like he might have got poked in the eye there, Bedford. Involved in Sturt's system, I heard earlier today, and shown some good signs. And it looks like he's just caught one in the eye there. The umpire didn't quite see it. He was on the other side of the play there. So good tap by Iggy's. Comes down now to Oscar Rice. He goes forward. Big leap there, down in front. Duncan getting plenty of it. Ball spills through Ferrari's hands. Kennedy's there. Higgins working hard as well. He's wrapped up. And a good contest there. A little pat on the back of the head from Kennedy to Higgins. Saying well done. McCarthy in the ruck, down to the Iggy's player there. It's Tom Washer. Bristow. So another repeat stoppage. McCarthy and Alfred go at it. St. Peter's get the ball here. They've done that well out the back, but he's missed the handball this time. Falls to Iggy's, but he's wrapped up straight away there. Harry Cudmore putting the tackle on Carl Hodges. So Iggy's around 60 metres out from their goal. Ball down to Bristow. He gets a hurried kick. What can Iggy's do here? At the front, good pick up. Ball comes out now. Snap on goal there. Brandon Lord, I think it is. Good effort. That 35, 40 metres out. He's thrown it on the right boot, and Old Iggy's there. Get their second goal, a much needed goal. And well done, Old Iggy's.
Tell you what, I heard a couple of jeers go up there after Lord kicked the goal, and they're actually coming for the left side of us, which is where most of the Old Iggy's fans are sitting. So I hope that wasn't them, but it's good to see a nice finish after a torrential storm of consecutive goals that were laid on by St. Peter's, and that's Old Iggy's first goal since the first quarter, so it's good for them to finally hit the scoreboard again. Probably long gone at this point, the proposition of winning this game. They're still 40 points down, but more players like that are always welcome for the home fans, and they'd be cozy here at Karen Rolton, and we hope you're cozy wherever you are watching this live stream of Adelaide Footy League action. Rodos again through the middle. It's the intended target. Old Iggy's with the setup, but misread the ball. Oh dear, that could cost them. He's going to have to go back in for second efforts there, McGill. He's under a lot of pressure. And they might just get out of trouble, but they won't. Huge smother, and it's basic stuff like that that shows that simple routines aren't going to get you through this game. Marcus Roberts, that was, with the smother. So there will be a throw-in from directly in front of the Karen Rolton scoreboard. Bit of shove out there, doesn't matter. The finish. Lockie de Cesare with 3 goals now. Lockie de Cesare, in fact, 3 goals as well as Nick Michaels. Really starting to put a stamp on this match now.
Yeah, opportunist goal from a stoppage there from de Cesare. He's been very good for them today. And a lot of bullocking work in the middle, and then also finishing with 3 goals so far up in the forward line. So Saints get the quick reply. Just a bit cleaner around the packs at the moment, and finishing off their work when they go inside 50. So margin back out to 46 points here. Played 11 minutes. Ball back in the middle on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Adelaide. Karen Rolton Oval. Up goes Stuart Rattray. Big leap over the top there. Ball comes out to Allen. Tackled maybe without it there. Oh, a little push and shove going on there. So Iggy's trying to do something here to fire themselves up. Stuart Rattray again with the big tap. Straight to the Iggy's player who's wrapped up there. So just about just near the 50-metre line for St. Peter's here. Playing some good football to Stuart Rattray. The Iggy's are going to win out here. I think there was a free kick off the ball. So, Iggy's, what can they do? Ball goes into the middle. A dangerous kick. Picked up now, Stuart Rattray. It's the ball to Higgins. Higgins goes forward. There's Michaels. That man was called a lot in the first quarter with 3. He's slid onto one there. Maybe a little bit too far out. He's going to kick from about 50 metres out, but playing in front, good small forwards do.
Yeah, I reckon he looked at the scoreboard and said, well, de Cesare's on par with me right now for the 3 goals. I better get my lead back.
Not a bad call, Indy. So, in comes Michaels. Tries to give it a roost and didn't really look likely. I think that was just a bit out of his range, and snuck it in for a point. So Saints go to 10-3 now, leading 10-3, 63 to 2-4, 16. And here go Iggy. So bring the ball out wide there. Big leap over the back there. Has he taken the mark? I think he's been paid it, but played on. Picked off there by the Saints player. Now we've got some loose players up forward. Michael's on the lead again. Goes towards him, but it was well defended there. The player right on him. And last touch went over the back, so Iggy's will clear. So Iggy's go the middle. Duncan's there. He spoils the ball away. Ball's tackled there. Ferrari picks the ball up, gives it back to the umpire here. So it was a ball up, held to him. So right in the middle now. Just a stoppage in play here. I'm not sure what's happening. So throw up. Alfred and Stuart Rattray go at it. Ball spills to Ferrari. Out to Duncan. Duncan's cleaned up by Kennedy in a strong tackle. He's trying to assert his authority and get the Iggy's boys up and about. Cleared here now for Saints. The ball's right back in the middle. There's a bit of heat come into this game the last few minutes. So there's a bit of a scuffle. And Iggy's are going to end up with the kick here. I'm not sure what happened, but ball's now about 60 metres out, so short kick, a great kick as well. That's more like the forward entries that old Iggy's would love to see. So the kick, not sure who it came in from, it might have been James Kennedy. And a beautiful mark out on the lead there.
Is this Brandon Lord again?
Could be. Too sure. I think it's a single. Just try and pick up who it is, but it was a very good mark on the lead. So here we go. Iggy's for their third goal. On the left foot, comes in. Oh, he's hooked that. So another minor score for Iggy's. Saints to bring it back in.
So it hasn't gone down this end of the ground too much in this quarter. But the Saints will have to find a route to goal from here. Long kick. Goes down the line, but stumped over the boundary line. So 15 and a half minutes into the second quarter. 2 goals, 570 to 10 goals, 363. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League live stream from Karen Rolton Oval. We thank Sportal, Make Sure and Ratify, as well as Dartfish, Archies and Filming Footy. Check side entry back into Old Iggy's forward line. Duncan's down there. He's going to need his teammates to help him out. Oh, misfired hand pass there. Keeps the ball hot. They clear it out for the moment. High ball to win. Mark almost complete, and I reckon it's going to be paid actually to Max Alfred, so congratulations to him, because it's a hard ball to mark when it comes that high from that high up. Oh, but it's been turned over. The entry not so great, so is this Charlie Allen now, I believe? He'll be working from essentially full back, assessing the options ahead of him. He decides to persist with the same boundary side wing, which we've been entering from for the last couple of kickouts, but it results in another stoppage. Traffic easing off in the background. Conditions remain very nice. The football itself, right now it's all positive vibes for St. Peter's. Ball up once again. Broadcasting side wing. McCarthy didn't really make a huge hit-out attempt there, but he's mostly done a really good job in the ruck contests today. Even when he hasn't won the hit-outs, he's enforced enough pressure on his opponent. He's competing against Alfred here. Comes out Old Iggy's way. Depends on the bounce. Oh! The Old Iggy's play actually socketed it straight to the opposition. Ferrari clears it. Is there a free kick going the other way, or is it going to have to come back? Old Iggy's will remain with ball in hand, but it'll be Brandon Lord. Steps off his mark, reels around a drop punt. Not to a super favourable position, but coming out of the pack, Ryan weaving his way around a couple, letting him launch at goal and getting it. Superb finish there from Thomas Ryan. And Old Iggy's with at least something to celebrate in this quarter. They've had a couple goals in this quarter now, but it's really just the amount that have been going the other way that's been the main problem. So it's more of a familiar Old Iggy's game at this point. They've already conceded 63 points. They only conceded 65 points at full time last week against the top 3 Sacred Hearts teams. So could argue that they've regressed, but regardless, I think that's just going to be the name of the game now, is finding a way to make a stalwart in the defence.
Exactly, Indy, as the ball's back in the middle. So here, Alfred pumps the ball, but St. Peter's in front there, playing in front, kicks the ball out. Kennedy goes through his hands. Oh, great tackle here. He's just lifted their intensity the last 5 minutes. He's blowing the whistle, and then he's played advantage, and it hasn't worked out well for Iggy's there. I think he should have called that one back, but there certainly wasn't any advantage, so umpire just trying to settle down the Iggy's players there. So McCarthy and Max Alfred. It's going to be a free kick. McCarthy just got Alfred over the neck there. So Iggy's looking to go forward here, try and get back-to-back goals. So Saints have got players pushing back. So he handles the ball out now to Tom Scanlon. Scanlon out wide. Good contest over there. Handles back in board. Saints players are there. Ryan, who kicked that great goal, working hard. Quick handle there. Oh, it's another free kick there. McCarthy's just got the Iggy's player over the shoulder. So Iggy's going to go inside their 50. What can they do? Can they grab another mark? Up there's... I think it was Max Kelly. Was it? Slow to get to his feet there. So Iggy's inside 50 here, about 30 metres out. They would dearly love another goal here. So Brandon Lord now in the ruck, up against McCarthy. McCarthy gets a tap out, beautiful tap to Allen. Allen kicks the ball, it's very open back here in their forward line, but Iggy's clean up. A stray handball. Now Saints have a chance. Oh, they've got two out the back here. Russell's one of them. And Michael's looking for another one as well, but Russell says, I'll kick it. No, he's missed it. Very big missed opportunity there. I think he could have drawn the Iggy's player there and given it over to Michaels, but just enough pressure on Russell there. In the meantime, Iggy's have come back and they will get a free kick. So yeah, a certain opportunity missed there for Spock. So Iggy's relieved with that, and now contest here, he's just been hit in the ribs, I think, the Iggy's player. So about 40 metres out, he's got a free kick, but just a bit slow to get to his feet. So India, real missed opportunity there for Saints.
Yeah, really should have handed it over to Nick Michaels. He's been in red hot form, but looks like he will be getting taken off the ground here. Looks a little groggy, but hopefully nothing too serious. He's actually, looks like he's limping a bit, so hopefully it's not a leg-based injury that's come as the result of that. Of course, that wasn't where the main collision was, but
could have been a corky, I reckon, maybe in his hip or his driver, something like that. Hopefully not a serious structural knee or ankle.
So we'll take a look at that. But that'll be coming all the way to the interchange bench. In the meantime, what can the Lions do? Broadcasting side wing, big thump out there. Here's Ferrari. He missed his intended target by hand, but it managed to bounce off and then hit another. Oh, a lot of pressure. But Will Carter kept himself composed. Went with an outside kick. That went long ways. Contest form. Crummers formed. Having a shot at goal for the second time in the last minute was Brett Russell, and the second time in a row, the final result of it, not so pretty. The Lions now trying to bounce off Thomas Ryan. He's pushed up the ground. Long kick down the line. Oh, and I reckon there has been a mark paid there. No! Umpire called play on. The old Iggy's player was so sure that he'd taken the mark, but nothing paid of it. So it will be a ball up. Ferrari getting involved at this stoppage. Trying to get his body down and dirty. But he gets slung out of it. And Marcus Roberts with a vicious tackle was executed really well. More body collision. More tackles piling in. A little flick out there from Higgins. So Peters tried to go one way. It's going to come out the other. Kennedy found a runner. Now Old Iggy's can launch into the forward line with a bit of scrambling. They've hit a target. I think this is Lord again. Probably is, I reckon. I'm 90% sure of it. So he's been their target up forward most of the time, although there's the possibility it might be Max Kelly. Nathan Woods and I are just trying to really squint our eyes here, even with the
It's hard to pick up the white numbers on the yellow at times.
Old Iggy's numbers have always been difficult to pick up. And goals like this are a bit difficult to kick. Fortunately not kicked in this instance. Only a minor score won't do them too much good at this stage of the game, but we're just over 24 minutes into the second term.
So another missed opportunity there. Went missing. I think it's Noah Layden, maybe, number 11, the left footer that's kicked those last 2 points, but we'll just have to try and pick that up. So Saints get the ball back there. Bedford's picked the ball up, casually just strolls through looking for a handball. Eventually, ball spills out now to Old Iggy's. Player has lost his feet. The tackling has certainly lifted from Old Iggy's, and that time it was Oscar Rice with a great tackle. I think he's been rewarded. And yes, so Rice will send Iggy's back into their forward 50. Ball goes over the top, looking for a free kick and getting him. We're going to get his number this time because it's going to be his third shot at goal. The left footer. So just caught one in the back of the head. It's number 8. So it's Quinn Spencer's the guy we've been trying to find out who it is. So Quinn Spencer, his third shot this quarter. The left footer, he's dragged his last 2 shots, so, or maybe it was Layden before, and this is Quinn Spencer, so, because Layden's in front. Both look very similar, so I think this is, or maybe not. Let's have a look anyway. In he comes, Spencer. This time, he's hooked it again. So, another minor score for Old Iggy's. They go to 3-7. They've missed 3 very gettable opportunities there. And Duncan's now got the ball, so Saints looking to make him pay for these misses. His kicks drop, so a bit scrappy. The ball comes back now and out wide to Will Carter. He drops the mark, so puts the Jets on though, on the left foot, and now he's going to kick it out of bounds on the full. So scrappy bit of play there from Saints. They've been pretty good by foot today, but made a few errors there, and Carl Hodges now puts Iggy's back in to forward 50. Ball comes out now. Dantokia gets it forward. Back there, Wilston. Ball comes out to Iggy's. Centres the ball, but it's all St. Peter's on the back of the line there. Harry Cudmore takes the mark. So right in the square, 10-metre square here of Iggy's. Cudmore goes out to the outer side, in front there, taking the mark. Is this Old Iggy's player?
At least they've trapped the ball in the forward arc the last few minutes.
Yes, correct, Indy. They've put a bit of pressure on here. Ball goes into a contest, spills out to Bedford. Duncan now, slipping over, but picking himself up and taking a great mark was Jasper Davies. He tries that kick inside but misses the target. James Allen picks the ball up. Now Saints, what can they do? Comes back to Allen. Duncan smothered. Good play there from the Iggy's player in Rice, but his kick was partially smothered. Scrappy bit of play the last few minutes. Horner was tackled sharply, and a good tackle there, holding the ball. So Max Alfred, great tackle by Stuart Rattray, and once again a little bit of feeling creeping into this game.
Not sure if I agree with the remonstration. I'm not sure that was 100% necessary.
Yeah, Iggy's have just started to. Now Will Ferrari's just been grabbed around the neck, so he's ended up with the free kick. So Spencer again, he's been good this quarter. Gives the handball out. Oh, and a beautiful kick. He's found Carl Hodges in the forward line, so some good ball movement there from old Iggy. Started with Ferrari. Will Ferrari hit Spencer, who's been good, Quinn Spencer, and on the left foot he has found Carl Hodges in the pocket, in the shade here. The beautiful Karen Rolton oval. What can Carl Hodges do? Still looking for this back-to-back goal. We saw him kick one across the face. Siren blows. In come Hodges. He's bringing it back. It looks very good. Bit of left to right about it, and Carl Hodges kicks a very, very important goal. So Iggy's, that last 5-10 minutes, I think their intensity lifted. They got back-to-back goals, and they'd be happy going into half-time just to get a couple on the board. And 4 goals, 7. They've had some opportunities to 10-4, so 33 points, not totally out of it, but giving themselves a little bit of a sniff.
Yeah, have kept themselves in it, and to be fair, those last 5 minutes they managed to get repeat entries. The scoreboard still reads at least a similar amount of scoring opportunities, only 3 extra, of course, for St. Peter's, but as of right now, it's a 33-point margin here at Karen Rolton Oval, 31 points to 64. We're going to take a break now and be back with you for the second half of this Adelaide Footy League live stream.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Nine News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner. Stubby holder, possible. So basically we've got an in-house design department with two graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to Karen Rolton Oval. It's half-time here and Old Iggy's trailing by 33 points. A marginal improvement, we'll say, over the course of the game, considering that it really looked like midway through the second quarter it could have been a triple-point blowout, but they've kept themselves just within touch. The problem is, Old Iggy's, they've been a low-scoring team most of this year. They would have to really conjure up their season-best score now to win this game. So do they stick to that risky ball movement, or do they get an extra one down the back just to stem the flow a bit? They've got 2 quarters worth of time. What's your solution, Nathan?
Yeah, they'll need to take some risks and possibly do one of those things, Indy. So only kicked 4 goals for the game. As you said, the last 5 to 10 minutes, they really lifted their intensity, led by the vice-captain, James Kennedy. He went in there and laid some really big tackles, and they kept the ball in their forward line for the majority of the final period of that second quarter, and got 2 goals in a row. It was 10-2 there at one stage, so pegged it back a bit, missed a few shots. Quinn Spencer kicked 3 points there, the left footer. He was starting to look like a dangerous forward up there. So there were some good signs late in the quarter, and Saints just went off the boil a little bit, made some errors, mucked around with the ball a little bit. So they'll be looking to get back on track for their first quarter ball movement and form, and it's going to be interesting. This first 5 or 10 minutes is certainly of this third quarter will certainly determine whether we could see a bit of a blowout or whether we could see a resurgent Iggy's come back and make a game of it. So it's going to be It's going to be a real intriguing first sort of 5-10 minutes of this quarter.
Well, I'm very keen to see what Lockie de Cesare will do in the second half, because I reckon he's one of the earliest contenders for the beanie. But tell you what, John Rodos is not far behind at all, and I think Stuart Rattray's had his moment. Nick Michaels kicked those 3 first quarter goals, and I reckon he would have had a fourth in that quarter if his teammate handed off to him. There was a missed opportunity for Brett Russell, who didn't quite get the ball to him on that run-on passage. But James Higgins has been a brave player out there and got on after a collision early in the first quarter, and James Duncan, a really good skipper as well. Charlie Allen as well, superb. And I think when we talk about some of Old Iggy's best players, I'm spotting out Carl Hodges because he's their only multi-goal kicker. He's kicked 2 goals for the match. Will Ferrari's been good as normal. Van der Jude hasn't had too many moments today, but Quinn Spencer has had opportunities in front of goal, but he's missed a few. So Thomas Ryan, when he gets the ball in hand, he could be dangerous. And James Kennedy is following up a really nice performance from last week with another very stellar showing again this week. So there's plenty to get excited about from an Old Iggy's perspective, but at the moment the scoreboard damage is quite supreme, so it'll take a bit of effort to come back from this. But you are with Indiana Rogers and Nathan Woods for the Adelaide Footy League live stream from Karen Rolton Oval. We thank Sportle, Dartfish, Archie's Thongs, as well as Filming Footy, and Make Sure and Ratify for providing our coverage for today. Spectators are getting back in position, players are getting back in position. All is perfectly poised for the third quarter, and you're with Nathan Woods for the opening call of the third term.
So here we go, all set for the third quarter. Going to be high intensity here. Premiership quarter they call it, so let's see what we've got in store. The umpire holds the ball aloft. McCarthy and Alfred go at it again. Ball spills down to the St. Peter's play. He's tackled quickly. First centre clearance is going to go to Iggy's though, but it's 2-on-1 out here. A good little shepherd. The skipper Duncan handballs the ball inboard. Short little kick up forward and to the wing, and Charlie Allen takes the mark. So Charlie Allen now. Ball cut off there beautifully by Kennedy. Will McCarthy maybe. So he goes inboard. Sorry, Will McCarthy it was. Kick forward by Dan Tokia. So now clearing, having a bounce as well in traffic.
Whoa.
Backing himself here is Rodos. As we said, it's been a good player. He gets the ball out to Higgins. Higgins now goes out to the wing. So Benny McGill with the helmet on. Goes out wide. Bad bounce from Michaels, but spills into the hands of Higgins. Higgins has a shot on goal to the top of the square, and contest there. The ball's rushed or gone over the back, through for a minor score. So good build up there from St. Peter's. Moved it from the half back line up forward. Couldn't finish off the work, and now a risky kick comes in, but the spoil has just got the Iggy's player in the back, and now a 25-metre penalty. So still a bit happening in this game. We saw the latter part of the second quarter, a bit of spice on. So now Iggy's move the ball out wide. Out there's Austin Horner, busy player. He gets a handball. Iggy's mucking around with it, 3 or 4 handballs, and finally intercepted by St. Peter's. Not bad bounce there for Bedford. Falls into another Saints player there. Is it Higgins maybe, or no? I think it was Benny McGill. No, couldn't quite see, but he was wrapped up by the Iggy's player. So big hit by the Iggy's player. McGill gets the ball to Rodos again. He started this quarter well. I think to Cesare, slams it on the boot, and a good mark back there taken by the Iggy's player. Now they are looking to switch the play. Ball comes out to Max Kelly. Oh, he's played on and getting tackled down. Wasn't aware, had the blinkers on, and coming in from nowhere was young Michaels and runs him down. That's what you love to see from a forward pocket. Not the snaps, just the snaps on goal, but the defensive pressure, and that tackle has led to a shot now for Michaels for his 4th goal. About 40 metres out, So this will be a really important goal if Saints can get this first one. The heads of the Iggy's players will probably drop a little, I'd say. So Michaels, in he comes. Oh, low trajectory, didn't hit it real well, and it just faded and went into the post. So Saints, they now go to 10 goals 7, leading Old Iggy's 4 goals 7.
35-point margin. Old Iggy's starting to fall behind once again. They've already got a huge setback to fight. The halftime score alone was enough of a chore, but I don't want to add too much more to that. Through the middle of the ground. Noah Laidon. High ball out to the far wing. St. Peter's, they got the pace here. To Duncan. Goes the 1-2 with Carruthers. Towards the centre. Good mark taken. Hamish Allen kept this cool. Off the left, wants to dart straight back out into the corridor. It's Rodos, one of the main contenders for the Beanie and Archie Thongs at the moment, you'd feel like. Call to play on, so he'll play it safe and give it back to a teammate in his captain Duncan. He goes out wide as well with a short kick. St. Peter's weighing up the options. Taking time with this entry. Defence nearly breached. Higgins, mark paid. He had 2 bites at it. Old Iggy's defenders claiming that the first bite wasn't actually through his palms, but umpire was pretty confident in the way he positioned himself, and it's reward for entry regardless. So James Higgins looking for goal number 2, has once again been one of St. Peter's best today. He'd also be contending for a beanie alongside Vrodos and Stuart Rattray, Duncan, Michaels. There's many to mention. It's been a team effort today. That's no team goal, just a minor score.
So another minor score to St. Peter's. Caught up in the points department with Iggy's now, or even gone ahead, 10-8. So Iggy's bring the ball back in, searching for their 5th goal. Some good run across. Ball spills out of the Saints player over the back to the Iggy's player, but ball spilled over to the Iggy's player, and he's dropped the ball. Was running into the open goal, couldn't quite pick it up. Oh, a goal goes begging there for Old Iggy's.
That was Brandon Lord, who could have just really
waltzed in and just dribbled it through, but he's just ball slipped through his hand. So a golden opportunity there. So in brings the ball again. Johnny Reid out wide. Well done there. I think it might have been to Cesare. He gets the ball out to the wing now, and Saints just holding possession. McGill, it's been quite handy as well. Over to Charlie Allen. Plenty of good players for St. Peter's today. So Charlie Allen, sun in his eyes, just shielding it about 70 metres out, outer side. Hear the sirens, hear the RAH going on. He's kicked short, and the tall Stuart Rattray has the ball. About 50 out, looking to centre it or looking for a short option. Now he's thinking maybe I'll have a little pop shot from 50. But no, does the team thing. To the hot spot, about 20 metres out. A big fly over the back, couldn't quite take the mark, but Iggy's clear. Hurried kick right into the centre of the square. Ball goes over the back. It's a race out there. Wilt Carter's under pressure, gets a little shove, plays it on though. Is it Ferrari there? He's tackled well. Sorry, no, it's Thomas Ryan. He was wrapped up in a good tackle there, so well done there. So they've nearly got out the back a couple of times there, Iggy's, but a good tackle there by Ben Belpario. Just got Thomas Ryan at a crucial stage. So Charlie Allen's getting a bit of it. He drops the mark though. Working hard there. St. Ignatians, Old Iggy's. Left foot pop at goal, and it's out of bounds on the full. So a couple of opportunities here for Iggy's, but just having trouble. Not a high scoring team, as we've mentioned earlier, and just can't quite get that 5th goal on the board.
Kicking it in will be Johnny Reid. as he goes to retrieve the ball first. They do well to set up the nets here at Karen Rolton because, of course, particularly when we're looking to the left of screen, there's a whole wide Port Road out that way, which, well, let's say now, if there was no net, you get a lot of Sharons flinging at cars throughout the day. And again, there's such a superb venue. It's nice to see that they got the net set up, but even sometimes the most awkward kick can breach the defence that the net's set up, and players will have to go and retrieve it. We don't have that problem here too much. St. Peter's want to go forward again. Nearly caught holding the ball. Yes, caught holding the ball. Is that going to be Kennedy? No, it's not going to be Kennedy. It's going to be his teammate. It's going to be Tom Washer. He's going to look forward. Contemplated a handoff to a teammate. He's got a couple around him. Didn't want to use any. Just wanted to go himself and overdid the kick. Nick Wildston from fullback. Told to go by the umpire. I think St. Peter's themselves are trying to slap a bit here because they've actually lost a lot of the territory, probably in the last 10 minutes of this game, certainly the last 9 minutes of this quarter. And when we look at those final few minutes of the second term as well, they were losing quite a bit. So probably about 15 minutes worth of territory wins from Old Iggy's, just no scoreboard conversion to go with it. Still a 35-point margin. Here's Charlie Allen. Remains on the near wing. Continuing to play it slow. Possession football looms. Roberts decides to step off and go with something a little riskier. Hit a one-on-one. Spoil came out. Down to the Old Iggy's defensive setup. Tacklers will breach it, but umpire happy to separate the pack. Pulled it up for himself. So we'll be right on the forward 50 arc for St. Peter's. Saints will get it out here. Or will they? They won't! Marcus Roberts took too long to make a decision there, and Old Iggy's almost looked like they had the corridor for a bit, but they're going to thump it forward. There's 3 different options to choose down there, and they didn't choose any of them. They chose the opposite. Ball still remains alive though. Thomas Ryan steps off on the gas. Will it bounce? It'll bounce through. Exactly what they needed. It gets the margin down to just 29 points now. Could that start something? It's no fire starter, but it sparks a light at the very least. And more than anything, it's a highlight play from Thomas Ryan, his second goal.
Yeah, well done. Iggy's needed that first goal to be any chance. Saints have missed a few shots, and that first goal was going to be all important, and just gives them a little sniff. They just need to kick another 1 or 2 in a row, and you never know. So ball back in the centre. So 11 minutes played. First goal of the quarter. Up goes William Rattray. Picks his own ball up now and gives it out to Bedford. Bedford short. Nice little touch. And he's found Roberts. Marcus Roberts. He's had a good little last 5 minutes. He's looking to possibly give it off there to Rodos, who's lurking for a little handball around the back, but looks like he's going to have a shot at goal, Roberts. So 50 metres out. Lead comes there from Carruthers, but that's ignored. So in comes Roberts. He's not going to make it. Ball, big pack flying over the back. Dangerous spot here. Oh, I think that was young Michaels there. Just slipped over at a crucial time and then was pinged for holding the ball. So a bit unlucky, but Iggy's now go wide. What can they do? A lot of their kicks that just seem to miss the target over the back, and Saints have cleared. So good kick in board, and Lockie DeCesar is going to have a shot maybe. He's about 50 out. He's thinking I could have a fourth here.
He wants the beanie too.
He wants the beanie for sure. So about 50 out. It tested him earlier when he tried to have a shot from this distance, but let's see what he can do. So DeCesar, he's had a good day today. For about maybe just inside 50. So in he comes. Hits it pretty good. Not quite going to make it. Iggy's player punches the ball down. Comes out wide here now. Ferrari, what can he do? Clever player, just taps it in front of himself. Gets to Kennedy, back to Ferrari. Now Dan Tokia. He goes in and a nice kick to Spencer, who we saw have a few shots and a good little period in that third quarter. He gives the ball over now to Thomas Ryan, who's kicked 2 good goals for Iggy's. This is where they break down a bit. There's 3 Saints players there. Duncan with courage going back, the captain.
Ooh, that's a bit stiff. I mean, he did get hands to it, so...
So, okay.
Oh, no, it's going the other way.
It's going the other way. So, Cole Hodges is going to get the free. So, he was the meat in the sandwich, and Cole Hodges has got the kick. So, he goes in forward, looking for Layden. Ball comes over the back and rushed through by Wilston. So, Iggy's just that last kick going forward. It's just not quite as clean as Saints. But the good thing is it's down their forward line and they're attacking and looking for their 6th goal. So margin 28 points, 14 minutes in. So the ball goes to Fay. Fay now with a short one to DeCesar. He balks around the Iggy's player, but he's kicked it straight to Iggy's on the half-back line. The kick there's though smothered. Roberts has it. He pumps it in long over the back. Big flyer. Michaels with a great crumb. Looking for his 4th. Snaps on the right foot. Ball bouncing. And it's rushed through there by Darcy Emerson. Well done. Last line of defence. Flicks it through for a point. And now Iggy's looking to come back the other way through Van der Jerd, who brings the ball back into the middle. So they're just keeping possession of the ball at the moment. I think it's McCarthy out there. Sun in his eyes to Ryan maybe. So old Iggy's in defence, just looking for something. Risky kick back into the middle, but effective. Now the switch is on. So out wide, Emerson's got the ball back. Oh, cut off beautifully there though by the Saints player in Paddy Fay. And there'll be a throw in here about 60 metres out, 70 metres from the Iggy's goal.
Good play from Patrick Fay. That's the exact type of defence that they needed to stand up. They've been a little bit off pace this early stage of the quarter. Oh, just plucked out of the ruck contest though. Stuart Rattray has something to say about it. Is that going to be advantage paid? No, it's free kick going the other way. It's going to be a free kick going to William McCarthy, as he just ties his shoelaces, as well as his teammate going back to retrieve the ball. So it's going down into the forward 50, but without the same damage that we saw in the first half. Old Iggies have to capitalise on that. They've got to get some spread here. They trap the ball over for this stoppage. Putting arms up for a holding the ball. Umpire will have none of that. So with 15 and a half minutes gone, it's a 29-point game. I reckon if Old Iggies can just sneak in 2 more goals before the end of this quarter, it'll put serious pressure on their opposition. But right now looks to be going the other way. Only for a moment though. Connor Bristow kicks it long. That's a beautiful darting kick right down the spine. His teammate wants to go too. That was Hodges. He's undercooked the kick as well. It's always that last hurdle with Old Iggies, just those forward 50 entries, always a little off pace and off target, and that's really just the missing ingredient at the moment, isn't it? Because they're doing a lot else right.
Yeah, exactly. Indy made hard work there for Lord, put it in front, and ball went out of bounds. But here's another chance for Old Iggies. In they go, but once again, Paddy Fay, who's done some good things back there, gets the ball out here. Contest on the wing. Goes over the back. Marcus Roberts picks the ball up. Kicks forward. Oh, great mark in defence there. It looked like Ty Bedford had his name written all over that, but a good piece of play there from the Iggies player. Now, what can they do? They're going to go through the middle. Dan Tokia. He turns onto his right foot. Oh, good contest there. Picking the ball up is Harry Cudmore. He's tackled hard. Allen handballs out the back. Wilsden, hurried kick forward. Ferrari gets a hand on it. Does very well. Gives the ball off to Van der Jerd. Van der Jerd forward. Duncan's there. Picked up there. In a bit of trouble. William Rattray. Is he going to be pinged? Yes, he is.
Ooh.
Didn't have much opportunity. Maybe had a tiny little opportunity to get rid of it, but tad unlucky. And Iggies, they're pressing here. And Austin Horner, who's been busy, is going to have a shot from about 35, 40 metres out. So important kick. In he comes Horner. Looks pretty good from here. Oh no, just misses to the right-hand side. So big opportunity there to get with under 4 goals, but he's just missed that. So Iggy's go to 5-10 to Spock 10-8. So
10 scoring shots to 18. It's a 28-point margin. Is it too much? Henry Stewart Rattray goes long to the outer side, far wing. St. Peter's have got some run here. De Cesare in the corridor. They've opened up. Old Iggy's have got to get back quickly, but they might not get back in time. Michaels, was he being held on to? He will. Goal number 4 could be looming for him if he gets this one through. He's missed the last couple. And that's a disappointing turnaround. Just look at that defensive 50 to forward 50 transition. Almost too easy, but really great stuff from St. Peter's. Their ball movement has definitely looked at season best quality today. And that's a check side goal for Michaels. No goal. Wow. Well, they've missed some opportunities. We mentioned it now. 10 scoring shots to 19. They're actually keeping Old Iggy's in this game. And Michaels, I hope he doesn't miss too many more shots like that, because he could have been contending for the beanie had he had those. Could have had 6 goals now. He's on 3. Ball coming out of the defense. Kennedy got his hands up but didn't mark it. Rodos brushed past it. That was clever play there. They go back to go forward, St. Peter's. Will they even go forward at all? It looks like they will. It's risky, but Roberts working with his teammates. Oh, ricochet! Ryan with the smother. He gets back his own ball. Then he hands off to Hodges. Hodges has to convert from the arc. And he does. He hits a target. His target finishes the work. And finally, after a long wait, the goal drought is over. Old Iggy's hit back, and they're back within 23 points all of a sudden.
Yeah, just Saints haven't made the most of their opportunities this quarter and just left the window open a little bit for Old Iggy's. And past Players' Day, they're revving the boys up here a bit. And that's 4 goals in a row. I think it was 10-2 at one stage. So Iggy's have kicked the last 4, and they are within 4 goals now. 23 points. We've played nearly 21 minutes in this third quarter, and game on here, I think. If the Iggy's can pinch another one and get within 3 goals going to the last quarter, well, there will be a little bit of pressure on the St. Peter's players. So, ball back in the middle. A hurry kick forward by St. Peter's. Out to Fergus Carruthers. He's wrapped up there by Laidon, and there'll be a ball up about just outside the 50 of St. Peter's goal. So McCarthy in the ruck. Going in hard there was the Saints player. And there'll be another stoppage. So important last sort of 8-10 minutes of this quarter. And Iggy's have been given a free kick here. So they are going to clear.
Woods on Armand off.
So Old Iggy's, here they go, down the wing. Big fly. Big pack of players over there, umpire circling, and McGill's wrapped up there by Ryan. So there'll be a ball up. Outer side on the wing. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here. Another ball up. A lot of players around the ball here. So Sting's just gone out of the game the last minute here. Important stage of this game. Ball out the back. Well controlled by DeCesar. He gets the ball to the skipper Duncan. He's wrapped up. So there'll be a 4th stoppage in the last sort of 30 seconds or so. So up go the ruckman. Ball spills out here to the Iggy's. Max Kelly comes in board to Emerson. He's under pressure though. Picked up by McCarthy. Now another stoppage. So a lot of players around the ball here. Real important stage, as I mentioned. So up goes the ruckman. Ball out to Kelly. Kelly gives it to Bristow on the left foot. He goes long. Good use of the body by Cudmore on Ferrari, but Ferrari just going to take that out of bounds. So they've made a bit of meterage finally. So the Iggy's team, the ball's about 70 metres out. So there'll be a throw in. McCarthy, uncontested in the ruck. Ball spills out here. Players going everywhere. Hands going up, appealing for holding the ball. And that's exactly what will happen here. So St. Peter's will get the ball on the halfback flank. I think it might be Carter. No, it's maybe Allen. So Charlie Allen. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Sorry, Charlie Allen goes out wide. Finds the player in McCarthy, the ruckman. He played on there, I think, and was tackled very well. So the tackling has definitely been pretty handy from Iggy's since that latter part of that second quarter, led by James Kennedy with a couple of big hits. So Connor Bristow, no, it's maybe Quinn Spencer. He gets the ball here. McGill picks it up now. In the middle. Ball comes out to De Cesare. De Cesare goes forward. Siren sounding, ball trickling over the back, but there will be no score. So that'll be it for the third quarter. Old Iggies have given themselves a sniff here. They're back within 23 points, so a pretty short quarter. Only went for 24 minutes. And Indy, there's a small sniff here for Old Iggies.
Old Iggies will have to put together their best quarter of the year to win this game. They're 23 points down but not out of it just yet. 6 goals, 10, 46 to 10 goals, 9, 69. Stay tuned. There could be an exciting finish here at Karen Rolton Oval. Can't guarantee, but we'll go to an ad break now and find out after the break.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 and 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
It's 3/4 time at Karen Rolton Oval, and I'll tell you what, it's a 23-point game which could somehow result in a comeback victory from Old Iggy's, although I don't want to run the mouth off too early because, well, general play in that quarter, it was actually St. Peter's not kicking as accurately on the scoreboard as they would, but still you'd say De Cesare is leading the race for the beanie alongside his teammate John Vrodos. James Duncan really starting to pull his way into conversation as well. And Henry Stewart-Rattray having a really good game as well. But who's standing up for Old Iggy's? Who's keeping them in the game? Hodges has had a good one. But more importantly, James Kennedy with his contributions. Ferrari really starting to pitch in. Washer, but I've really liked the look of Thomas Ryan in particular. If they win this game, you get the feeling it will be because of him. But that's only if they do it. 23 points the margin. That's the task at hand. If Old Iggy's are going to win a game this year, it's got to be now in this quarter. Final term at Karen Rolton Oval is all the talk now. And both myself and Nathan will be giving you the best possible coverage of this final term. We hope it to be an exciting one, and we hope that Old Iggy's can at least make it interesting. We're not rooting for one team or the other, of course, but we always love an interesting match, don't we, Nathan?
Certainly do, Indy, and it would be good to see Iggy's kick that first goal, or maybe first 2, and just add a bit of excitement. So here we go, final quarter away. Throw up. Up goes Stewart-Rattray and the big fella Alfred. Ball spills out towards the Saints goal a little bit, and there'll be another stoppage. So a lot of stoppages in the last sort of 5 minutes of this game. Rattray and Alfred, Stewart-Rattray and Alfred go at it again. Ball goes towards the forward line here. Picked up and out to De Cesare. It's been a very good player today. He kicks the ball to Michaels just over his head. And also another handy player today, Nick Michaels. Could have had 5 or 6 goals. Missed a couple, but also kicked a couple of very good goals. So, good little balk by the Iggy's player there. He goes out wide. Stewart-Rattray punches the ball away from Alfred. And the 2 ruckmen now will go at it in the ruck contest. So, throw in, about 60 metres out. As we said, beautiful day here in Adelaide. 16 degrees. Oval in amazing condition at Karen Rolton. So Alfred gets the tap forward. Ball spills out here to Laydon. Laydon to Horner. Horner tries to go back to Layden. He just seems to have injured himself there. Ball's up forward here now. Well, Layden's got it at the moment. So Laydon picks the ball, and a good mark, strong mark taken by Hodges. He hasn't been their worst today, Hodges. Kicked a couple of goals. He goes up forward. This is where they sometimes are lacking. Picked up here now. Now number 8's picked it up again. That's the guy. Quinn Spencer's got his second. He's been a good player for them up forward. Could have also had 3, 4 or 5 goals. Has missed a few, but on his preferred side on the left foot, kicks that all-important first goal for Old Iggy's, and the past players are up and about here. That's 5 goals in a row for Old Iggy's. So St. Peter's haven't scored a goal, I don't think, since the second quarter. So they were 10 goals 2 at one stage. I reckon they may have kicked 7 straight points since that period. And Old Iggy's have just found a way to claw their way back. And they've gone to 7-10, 52 to 10-9, 69. So ball back in the centre.
Down but not out, but that could change it a bit. Instantaneous reply is going to come from St. Peter's. They've kicked 7 behinds in a row, and surely they're not going to miss this one. Wow, instantaneous reply. You can't get too overconfident after 1 goal or even 2. You've got to be able to keep yourself composed, and Nick Michaels will punish that lack of composure now, but looking to be the match-high goal kicker with 4 if he can get this one through, which he does. Simple task at hand, instantaneous reply, and just like that, it can take a while to get things going, but it can take no time for things to come undone.
I think I can take credit for that goal there, mentioning how they hadn't got a goal for so long. The Saints supporters will be happy with the commentator's curse there for sure. It was Stuart Rattray who streamed out of the middle, put it down forward, and Nick Michaels, who's been dangerous all day today, has kicked his 4th goal. Great contested one-on-one mark, and that instant reply to Spock just gives them that breathing space out to 23 points. So ball back in the middle. Stuart Rattray in the ruck against Alfred. Bit of ping pong. Ball's being punched out of there. Picked up by the old Iggy's player out to the wing. Going back McGill with courage. A good mark. So Benny McGill. It's been handy as well for only a small fella with the helmet on. Goes into the 50-metre mark. Big pack forming and a good mark taken at the back there by Brad Jones. So Jones gives it out to the Darcy Emerson. Emerson wide. Good kick. The Iggy's coach calling for them to move it. He wants some quicker movement, so just held up. Duncan gets a little handball out to Rodos, who's missed the target. What's going?
No, the free kick's going to come back to where the initial position was. There must have been a bit of a shove on after one of the kicks.
Thanks, Indy. I think, James Duncan, the skipper's going to take it for Saints. So Dunks played a bit of cricket with James at Spock. Great fella, great skipper. And here goes Dunks. He puts it in long. Oh, over the back. Nearly Higgins. Picked up by O'Leary. Now the ball's kicked into the dangerous spot. Michael's lurking. Taps it beautifully to him. He's got 6, is it? 5. 5 for Michaels. Clever, smart forward. Just tapped the ball to himself over the back. Ran into the open goal. And he's a good player, Michaels. Opportunist. And did really well there. Jasper Davies has got the job on him, and he's had a tough day, and Michaels has kicked his 5th goal, and that maybe gets him back in contention for the beanie.
Absolutely. Well, the finger would have been hovering around the panic button almost for the Saints, but it's come back onto more cozy terms. They're up by 29 points, and I reckon that will be too much at this stage. The way Old Iggies are playing, they can't pile on consecutive scores in quick time, so challenges now. Hugo O'Leary looking around, decisive, but they can afford to play slow if needed, as they do there. Go towards Marcus Roberts. Roberts wants to persist with his wing. He wants to go down towards half forward, in fact. Pack looms. Spock had the extra numbers around, but it'll tumble over the boundary line. So you just get the feeling here that with the way Old Iggies play, they haven't been able to pile on quick consecutive scores. So it will likely be a St. Peter's victory at that point. Those 2 goals were all they needed in the term, and whether they came in the first 5 minutes or last 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. The 2 goals occurred, and there's an out of bounds on the fall here, which is going to get the ball back to the Saints. It'll come back in through Ben McGill, as he just waits for the ball to come back to him. Wedged between the scoreboard, deep in the pocket. This will be one of the most impressive set shots of the match if he decides to go for it, which he's patiently waiting, spinning the ball around, balancing the Sharon, lining up his feet. So it looks like a normal set shot routine. The kick looks like a set shot. Oh, so close. I reckon that one was pinpoint accurate, just didn't quite have the extra metre required to put the game to bed. But it does take them up to 5 goals, and you think it'd be difficult to lose at this point.
Yeah, 5 straight kicks the margin. So Iggy's need a quick reply. They need to take some risks here. Horner gets a hurried handball. There's going to be a free kick as Spencer was tackled after he got rid of it. So Spencer now on that left foot, goes out wide, finds Max Kelly. Max Kelly short, good lead offered there by Dan Tokia. So Peter Dan Tokia pumps it in long. He's got a loose player there, and I think it's Ferrari, is it? Will Ferrari just came in from the side there, lost his opponent in Charlie Allen, and Ferrari has a chance here to kick Iggy's 8th goal and get the margin back to 24 points. So good play there by Iggy's. They were patient in the build-up. Some good skills by Foot. And now, Will Ferrari, class player, comes in on the right foot, got good connection. Wynn just took that, little left to right about it, and it was on target towards the right post, but the wind grabbed it and it's just missed to the right of the right post and through for a minor score. So back to 29 points. They need to kick 5 goals. As Indy said though, not a high scoring team. So they're going to have to do something different and take some real risks here. So ball's in the middle. Umpire circling. Bedford over the top there, looking for a free. James Kennedy gets up off the floor. Off the ground. So big pack of players. Frodos working hard in there. Now comes out to the Saints, to the Iggy's player who dropped the ball. McGill ducked his head. So the umpire let that go. Allen. Up forward, big mark, oh, big fly over the back though. Can he pick the ball up there? Fergus Carruthers, he's lurking the opportunist goal sneak. He gets up, Nick Michaels, he's tackled though, and a good tackle. Desperate defence from old Iggy's. Nick Michaels was eyeing off his 6th, but just couldn't quite get his foot to the ball, and desperate effort in defence there. So the ball's right up near the goal line here for St. Peter's. And it's going to be rushed through for a minor score. So margin back out to 5 straight goals. And Iggy's now bring it back. They're trying to move it on quickly here. Good contest one-on-one, but the free kick's going to be paid to Van der Geert. Van der Geert now goes down the wing. Spencer there. Good spoil. Good little smart tap to Laydon. Laydon's given it straight to St. Peter's. Ball spills out to Johnny Vrodos. He goes forward, but in front is the St. Ignatius player in Bradley Jones, and he will clear to the outer wing to Ferrari, or to the Ferrari. Well, now here's a chance. Kennedy, the vice captain, through the middle, goes long. One-on-one up forward. Oh, great mark. Great one-on-one mark. James Duncan, and just trying to pick up the player there.
I reckon it's Lord.
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
Well, we heard those jeers earlier in the game. I actually reckon it might have something to do with his name.
Yes, it could be correct there. Indy, so Lord just cramping up a little bit in the calves there. Great mark. One-on-one here, so can they get a quick reply and get it back to 4 goals? So Lord, he's got 2 today, or just the 1? Just the 1 for Lord today, so we'll be hoping it will be 2 after this. So the strong number 19. Brandon Lord, what can he do here?
Can't afford to waste too much time.
In he comes. Looks good. Straight through the middle, over the umpire's head, and Brandon Lord gets the quick reply. Iggy's back within 4 goals, so 12 goals, 11 to 8 goals, 11 here. We've played 12 minutes, so still plenty of time. But they would need to get a hurry on and get another one very quickly.
Not too much time left in this quarter. We've just tipped over the 12-minute mark, and it's a 4-goal game. My 2 cents is that it's too much. But what matters is, what's Daryl Spencer thinking? Does he think they're a shot? Can he switch the magnets and make something work? Start a surge. If it's got to come anytime, it's got to come now. Another throw up in the center circle. Rucks go at it. Trying to get it out there. Cudmore initially, but came out a bit further than intended. Going forward, slapping it onto the boot was Washer. It's coming all the way down to the goal square. Can they balance out a goal here? They hand it off to a teammate, and it's snapped around by Lord again. Goal number 3 for Lord, and goal number 2 in the quarter brings the game back to 3 goals.
That's what they needed, another quick goal. And the all-important centre clearance and some good work up forward.
That's probably the quickest consecutive goals that Old Iggies have gotten in this game. I've seen St. Peter's get a quick pile on, but that's the first time, almost probably this year, that I've seen Old Iggies instantaneous reply with a goal following another.
And much needed, so just gives them another little sniff, back to 18 points. About halfway through this last quarter. And here we go again. Carthy and Alfred. Ball goes to Ferrari. Can they get another centre clearance? Yes. A hurried one though. Well done back there of Rodos. Gets it to Cudmore. Cudmore long. Allen and Emerson battle. Allen goes back again. Gets a good handball out to Benny McGill. Quick hands over to Rodos. Rodos goes forward looking for Michaels. Well spoiled by Davies. Picked up now though. Fergus Crothers gives it to Michaels. What can he do? On the left foot, a beautiful kicking board. Allen's going to stroll in and get the sealer, I'd say. Back out to 4 goals. Quick reply to St. Peter's there. They go out to 13-11-89 to Old Iggy's 9-11-65, and they really needed another goal there. Iggy's kicked 3 quick ones, would have got them within a couple, but now the margin's gone back out to 4 goals even, so they're going to have to 5 kicks. They're going to have to score 5 goals to win this, and I think it might be a bit too much of a mountain to climb now.
It might be. We're reaching the 15-minute mark. And credit to Nick Michaels there. He could have blazed away and snapped with an awkward check side that wouldn't have registered for a goal, but he contemplated the options. He saw Charlie Allen leading through the middle and, well, it just opened up the defence there. But also, I reckon the hand pass to Ben McGill, I can't remember who it was, really getting in and under. That allowed them to clear the ball as well. They'll clear it again here, St. Peter's. Go with a long torp, in fact. Almost landed in the hands of Michaels. He'll loom around the pack, but he won't need him because Brett Russell has done the finishing manoeuvre instead, and that is going to seal the game. St. Peter's will win. 5 goals with 15 minutes left. It's too much of a mountain to climb now, and you can pretty much lock it up. We look at the reply there, and it's just the... I mean, we talked about Old Iggy's finally got those consecutive goals piling in from stoppage, and they almost look like sneaking in another there, but it's back up to 5 goals now, and it's probably what the margin deserves to be, because Old Iggy's, they haven't had their pants pulled down by any stretch of the word, but it's back in the middle now.
So Ruckman go at it again. William Rattray gets it down, but straight to the hands of Ryan, who's smothered. So the clearance will go to St. Peter's. Looking for 3 quick goals here. William Rattray waiting for the ball to come out, but still in a pack here. And there'll be a ball up about 45 metres out from the St. Peter's goal. So they've just responded when they needed to here today, St. Peter's. To Old Iggy's credit, they came back from 8 goals down to get within 3 as Saints go forward again on the lead. Russell can't quite take the mark, but quick to recover and jump on the Iggy's player, and there'll be another ball up about 45 metres out from the St. Peter's goal. So, as we said, beautiful afternoon. Karen Rolton bathed in sunshine. Great setup here. A pack of about 8 or 10 players around the ball here, so this will suit St. Peter's. They don't mind the clock wasting or going down here, wasting a bit of time, taking time off the clock. So William Rattray gets a handball straight to Ty Bedford, who's wrapped up in a tackle, and there'll be another stoppage. So Ferrari hands the ball back to the up. So throw up, 45 metres out from the goal. Stuart Rattray. Not sure why I'm calling him William Rattray, but Stuart Rattray in the ruck. Swapped today with McCarthy. So ball comes out to Bedford. What can they do here? Intercepted by Max Kelly, but now falls into the hands of St. Peter's. They go forward. Michaels and Davies. And there'll be a throw in left forward pocket for St. Peter's Old Collegian as we tick just over 18 minutes into this last quarter. St. Peter's Old Collegians, 5 straight goals in front at the moment, 30 points. A lot of players inside forward 50 at the moment. Ball gets knocked out towards Ferrari. Player working hard, Saints player, goes forward. Allen's there. Wrapped up in the tackle though is Michaels, I think. Davies. And you know what, Layden wrapping him up. So a lot of ball up, a lot of throw ups here. A lot of players. Snapped through there. It's touched. Saints player got his foot to the ball, but touched. So through for a minor score. Handy point, takes it out to 31 points. 19 minutes gone.
Not much time left in this game. The sun continuing to set, and the sun will set soon for the two teams playing today. There won't be any finals, but it's been a very promising performance for St. Peter's, and Div 2 teams will definitely start to feel a bit nervous thinking about them next year. Old Iggies, what more can they muster up for the sake of their home fans today at the fantastic Karen Rolton Oval that we've been very privileged to be bringing you coverage from. Some really nice tackling pressure and contemplated with Nathan who some of the Ignatians Thong's options are. We'll talk more about it at the end of the game, but I reckon, wow, there's quite a few to choose from St. Peter's, because this has been a required team effort today. They've come under siege at times, St. Peter's, and no easy task that it has been to seal this game away. They're up by 31 now, but there was really a bit of momentum swinging the other way in the second half. They didn't get a goal in the third quarter. This is also Old Iggy's highest score for the year, for those wondering at home. Into the centre of the ground the ball comes. Trying to clear it out, but Marcus Roberts was caught with it. So Old Iggy's are going to play advantage here and just try and stream forward. They're going to find Ferrari. No, this isn't Ferrari. This is, in fact, Tom Vanderjude. He goes long. Sets it up. St. Peter's had the superior defensive play there, but a sling tackle is going to bring it back into their safe position. And here's John Vrodos, another contender for the beanie today. It's just been fantastic. As the ambulance sirens go off, but there'll be no requirement for that because no one's gone missing today. Everybody's played their role, and fair dinkum to everyone involved with this game. I think everybody's had their moments, and you can feel good and pat yourself on the back knowing that the best moments of your team you probably had some sort of contribution to. Long ball down the line. Intercept taken. Old Iggy's simply fighting for the consolation prize at this point as we tip to the 21-minute mark. Mark taken by Connor Bristow. Goes further. It's in fact Max Kelly, pardon my French. Intercept now taken at centre half back. St. Peter's just slowing up the traversal of play and happy to take an extra breath. They're ready to see out the full-time siren, that's for sure. This is Ty Bedford, who's also had a very solid game. Hasn't had too much of the ball, but all of his touches have been damaging. Oh, almost a bit of ricochet off of his own teammate there. And caught. No, umpire said it's play on. So now twist around the body. Forward 50 entry for Old Iggy's. But to no success. Safely in the hands to Hugo O'Leary. Now it goes. He wants to go one further. There's a little nudge there, but all fair and square according to the umpire. Back to centre half back. It's Kelly again. Hits a teammate. You're just wondering if Michaels is waiting for an opportunity to get goal number 6, although they might be happy to just play it passively in the defensive half and do a bit of possession football, as we're now 22 and a half minutes in. One of the lowest scoring quarters of the game, but still a very impressive one by all means, and we've really enjoyed watching this game so far. Old Iggy's definitely their best performance of the year. Ferrari was down there, didn't take the mark. Now slingshot off of half-back. St. Peter's suddenly putting together a little bit more pace. 1-on-1 goes down the line. So 1-on-1 with Brett Russell getting involved, but he was outmaneuvered. And Old Iggy's will break away this time the other way. Oh, but it didn't bounce for Ferrari. There was no chance of him getting it with a bounce like that. The footy gods just didn't want him to have it there. Oh, holding the ball, almost, not called. Little bit of a dump, but it'll be called ball up, and ultimately no whistle going one way or the other there for the teams. A little bit of push and shove there remonstrated from De Cesare, but at this point, we're ready to see out the final minutes of the game.
Ball up here on the wing. Only a couple of minutes to go here, I reckon, so things certainly gone out of the game in this last few minutes. Plenty of stoppages. A few tired players waiting for the siren to go. So Duncan tackling there. Charlie Allen grab without it. Umpire doesn't see it that way, and there'll be a ball up right in front of us here on the wing. So been a great day here at Karen Rolton Oval. Seen some good young talent on display. Duncan gets the ball, shoved over the line there. Ryan and McGill tangle up, and there'll be a throw in here right in front of us. As I said, dying stages of this game. Coming through there well was Kelly. Got the handball out to Kennedy, but the ball's gone out of bounds, and there'll be another throw in. So nearly 25 minutes gone here. Throw in. Stuart Rattray. And another ball up. So in the end of the day, I think Saints just have had a bit more polish. Their inside 50s have been a bit cleaner. Iggy's have been brave to come back and give themselves a chance, but Stuart Rattray gets the ball out. Picked up by Horner. Now Charlie Allen grabs it. He gives it to the skipper, Duncan. Duncan with a hurry kick forward. Bad bounce there for the Iggy's team. Russell's there. Well done there, though, by Brad Jones. Comes out to Horner. Does well. Gets around a couple of Saints tacklers and goes forward. Mark taken by Spencer. It's been all right for them today. Gets the ball in forward. Lord dives with Bedford, and Bedford just had a bit more on the ball, and he's paid the mark, and a few words being said there. So 25-metre penalty will go against Bedford, Lord, and Bedford will come into the middle of the ground here. So have Saints got one more left in them. Ty Bedford, as we said, involved in the STIRT program as well. He goes out wide and finds Paddy Fay. So Paddy Fay, just a short little kick here, winding down the clock. Spock goes into Allen. So just keeping possession here. We'd only be seconds away from the final siren. Allen, who's been a pretty good player today as well, Charlie Allen. Done a lot of hard work. He goes and kicks the ball beautifully. And now they work it in well to Fergus Carruthers. Speaking to a few of the Saints boys three-quarter time. So he's got a bit of Scott Pendlebury about him, this guy. So Fergus Carruthers, I'm assuming he's a left footer. Bit of confusion early here with number 47 on our sheet. In fact, he's 46. But no, he's a right footer. So in he comes, Fergus Carruthers. Just gone across the face though, through for a minor score. So St. Peter's Old Collegians go to 14-13-97 to Old Ignatians Footy Club 9-11-65. 27 minutes gone. And there's the siren to end the game. St. Peter's running out winners by 31 points. And probably a margin that was about right at the end of the day, Indy.
Yeah, just about. I think it was after the second half of that first quarter where St. Peter's really just got a run on. They got up by 7 goals, and unfortunately the saying goes that once you get down by 7 goals, it's very difficult to win games from there. But I'll say this. The two teams that play today play incredibly similar styles and structure. The difference was simply in skill execution. Old Iggy's had glimpses of a very good team today, but it was St. Peter's who just won more centre clearances, got more clean inside 50 entries, and yes, they missed 7 consecutive shots from the start of the third quarter until the beginning of the fourth, but ultimately that was just one part of, I suppose, the marathon that they were running today, and a little blip doesn't stop them from being deserved winners today. But Old Iggy's can at least hold their heads high knowing that this was their best performance for the year. Yes, they technically won the last time these teams encountered, but that was in supernatural circumstances. And provided that doesn't happen again, of course, St. Peter's will come out winners today. But I think talking about the best players, well, I think it's worth going over now. Some of the best Old Iggy's players. James Kennedy was once again very good and pushed up the ground a lot more today. Brendan Lord missed a lot of shots early, but eventually got 3 goals, including 2 in that last quarter to make the game a bit more exciting. Tom Vanderjude and Will Ferrari had their moments of contribution. Noah Laydon could have done a bit more, but I really liked Quinn Spencer. I saw his presence a lot up forward, but in particular Thomas Ryan. I reckon he was the best for Old Iggy's today. I really like the type of adversity that he has when it comes to those intense moments. So credit to Thomas Ryan. And when we talk about the best St. Peter's as well, who stands out to you, Nathan?
Yeah, well, they had a lot of good players in the day. I think special mentions. I think James Higgins played a good game and worked hard. James Duncan, the skipper, got plenty of the ball and was solid. Benny McGill had some moments, as did Stuart Rattray. I thought Charlie Allen was quite handy. Will Carter played some good footy. And Benny Belpario had his moments. Brett Russell up forward. But the 3 standout players for me were obviously Lockie de Cesare. He kicked 3 goals and was instrumental, probably better in the first half than the second. Johnny Vrodos was the other one who was a very good player and dominated and got a lot of the football. And obviously up forward, Nick Michaels was a standout with 5 goals. Could have had 7 or 8, missed a couple, and but was very dangerous and a real opportunist up there. So for me, I think it's out of Michaels and Vrodos for the best on ground. What are you thinking, Indy? Who are we going to give the thongs and beanie to? Oh. Me being a small forward, probably give it to Michaels just, but you may think Vrodos gets the chocolates.
I'll tell you what, I reckon we're almost at odds with this one, but I think one thing that made the main difference in my personal votings, while Vrodos was the more consistent player, Michaels, in my opinion, had huge contributions at 2 crucial times of the game. The second half of the first quarter, which is when essentially St. Peter's almost sealed the result then and there. They got 7 goals up during that time period. And the early stages of this last term, where they were coming under siege. It was a 3-goal margin, but then 2 back-to-back goals from Nick Michaels managed to put them back within a comfortable 5-goal range, and that set the tone for the rest of the quarter. So congratulations to Nick Michaels. I reckon he is our best on ground for today. He will be rewarded with a pair of Archie's thongs, as well as the much prized Dartfish beanie. So congratulations to him. We're going to get down and take a photo with you and give you your much deserved reward after the game. But it is time to sum up here at Karen Rolton Oval. Nathan, thank you very much for joining me. It was a privilege working with you for the first time, and I'd be more than happy to work with you again in the future. You've definitely demonstrated a lot of promise today. Thanks, Indy. Yeah, no, it's been a great day, and as you said, we've been privileged to sit up here in this lovely grandstand. The Oval, the day itself was great. Good crowd here, and we've seen some good young talent on show as well, and I'm sure these two sides, if they do both go back to Div 2, well, obviously Iggy's will, but if Saints do as well, there's plenty to work with, and I'm sure there'll be some changes and some players brought in, a bit of experience to go with some of these young guys, and they'll certainly both be back with a force in the not too distant future. So, Well, thank you very much to Nathan Woods, my co-commentator today, and thank you for everyone tuning in to our live stream. It was a massive privilege to be here. Thank you very much to Tommy, our producers, whereas Harry Lambert, our filmer. Our coverage today wouldn't have been possible without them, and we'd also like to thank our sponsors, including Roll the Dice Media Award for Player of the Year, the Farmers Elite Winery Pad the Way for Coach of the Week, which I don't know if it'll be coming from today, but we always give one out every week, give out 2 shots from Farmers Elite Winery Pad the Way. Also thanks scoreboard sponsor Sportle. They always make these scores around the country possible, and they're really revolutionising the technology with score tracking. Bianco's Mark of the Week, ORTC's Goal of the Week sponsor, and more importantly, Dartfish and Filming Footy for making our coverage today possible, as well as Make Sure and Ratify, our match day live stream sponsor. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we look forward to tuning in to you for your feedback throughout the week for some of our Goal and Mark of the Week contenders on Between the Posts. Don't forget to keep up to date with Between the Posts itself. And stay tuned, because this season is almost over, but a final series all freshened up will be waiting for you as long as you keep track with us these final 4 weeks. But stay tuned, there's more Adelaide Footy League action to be played out in 2023. Thank you to all watching, and have a good day.
News, teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening community through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.